I saw when they brought Lil Nas X to that.
Oh, that was a great clip.
I thought that was great because that song is positive.
Wait, where did they bring Lil Nas X?
It wasn't like he was an assless
He went
chaps.
to a grade school, like a 5th, 4th grade classroom.
The way Lil Nas X dresses now,
He wouldn't. I don't think he.
There's
would dress
no way
that
that
way.
would-
What? No, he wouldn't do that in front of kids anyway. Like, that's,
Yeah, I don't think he would.
And
dress
even
like
if
that
he was
for
out, I highly doubt he was going to.
He
tell
wouldn't
all
wear
his
leather
kindergartners.
kids. No, he's not going to do that in front of kids.
assless chaps.
That's
Billy Ray's
insane.
verse.
Well, if you look into the QAnon agenda, that is actually what he would. That's actually what he would. It would have been a pizza party.
That's hilarious.
NewRoryNMal.
Rory, it was funny. I forgot to tell you about my trip to Canada. Funny story. We were at the border, and if you ever been to Canada, I don't know if any of our viewership listeners have ever tried to cross the Canadian border, but they're very strict.
Yes,
you kind of get this feeling when you're approaching the border, like I hope everything goes well. You start thinking about anything that you may have.
Parking tickets.
Anything
child support
on your under your name that you may think is outstanding or warrant.
Yeah,
just starts flashing through your mind. So, I've been lucky enough for the past 10 years to not have any run-ins with the law.
No, they're thorough over there.
Yeah. So we get to the Canadian border, and first of all, we're in the global entry lane. So my sister was driving, so I tell her, I'm like, hey, we should get out of this lane because we don't have only you have global entry. So my sister was
tables have turned like when we were in Houston and
but listen, so I told my
I cursed out TSA because I had pre-check and they told me to go in a different line.
Well, you did.
Look at the tables turning.
But the TSA and
the
the
shoe
border
was on the
is
other.
two different things though.
They are two different things.
So I'm like, hey,
Houston,
we should
Canada?
get out of this line because you're the only one in the car with global entry.
But was she driving?
My sister was driving. So she's like, no, it's okay. Like if I have it, whoever's with me, I'm like,
I think that's a myth.
I'm like, I don't think that's how it works, but okay. So we get to the booth and the lady is like, does everybody in the car have global entry? So my sister's like, no, I have it. Automatically, I see the lady is pissed.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is because a lot of people have been doing it that day, like didn't know that everybody has to have it, whatever. So I'm like, this is not good. Whenever you piss off a Border Patrol officer, it's not good.
Right.
So she's like, all right, do me a favor, pull over there. Now, if you've ever crossed the border, whenever they say, do me a favor, go over here,
you should just do a U-turn.
Yeah, like you should get out the car.
Go to your original destination.
Run back to America, right? So I'm like, all right, we pull over. So it's me, my mom, my sister, my cousin, and my nephew. So we pull over, whatever. So no big deal, whatever. They search the car really quick. So the officers are like, oh, you were in the global entry lane. He's like, well, do you know that that's an infringement? You can be fined for that. My sister was like, no, when I called and got my global entry done, they were saying that anybody that I'm traveling with can also like come with me through global entry. So he was like, oh, well, if you're flying, you can have you and maybe a companion can go through global entry.
Not a car full of people.
Not your entire family.
That makes more sense to me, though, if the driver has global entry to go through than if we're flying together.
Yeah.
I think the car should allow a full carload of people.
You would think so, right? So, whatever. They search the car. Of course, there's nothing in the car. They take our passports. They go inside. So they say, hey, we only need one of you to come in. Like everybody else could just wait in the car. So I go in. I'm like, all right. So my sister, my cousin, my mom, everybody, my nephew goes back in the car. I go inside the whatever you call it. I go inside the building.
The guy reeking of the reg.
Yeah. Go inside the building. So when I go inside, the guy says, is that your mom? So I was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, I need your mom to come in. So I'm like, is he treating me like a child? Like I'm not, I can't, like, you know what I mean?
You're adult.
You look great for your age.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I have to be accompanied by an adult.
So I go back to the car. I'm like, hey, I feel like such a loser. I'm like, hey, mom, they say you have to go in. So she's like, all right. So my mom doesn't want to go in. She's like, all right, I'll go in. She goes in. So we could see my mom from outside where we're in the car because it's like glass. The whole building is basically glass. So we see her in there. She's talking to the officer. You could automatically tell in my mom's body language something is not right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's going on? My mom has crossed this Canadian border at least 50 times. So I'm like,
that's the problem.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right.
She's a runner.
I'm like, she's a mule. They think my mom's a mule. So I'm like, all right. So whatever. They're about maybe 5 minutes of talking. You can see the officer walking away. My mom's still trying to talk to him.
She was probably wearing Griselda merch. That's what threw it off.
So
She actually looks like Griselda.
So automatically
Wow.
I'm thinking like, what the hell? What could he be talking to my mother about? So as my mother's coming out of the building, I see her face and she's crying.
Oh.
Never
Yeah.
fun.
So I'm like, so now, I'm going into a mode of,
Yeah.
what the fuck did this dude just say to my mom that she comes out of the building and she's crying? So I'm like, what happened? She's like, they said I can't go. I can't come into Canada. I was like, what? I was like, why not? Like, what happened? Something on my name on my file is that I had an assault back in 1973. Happy 50th anniversary to hip hop.
Yes.
I believe that is the year that hip hop was born.
I believe the assault at Kool Herc's party is
What they were referring to.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
your mom shut the party down.
yeah, I'm like
and then hip-hop was born.
1973. I'm like, what are you talking about? She was like, I don't have my mom has never been arrested. She had no idea what this officer was talking about. She was like, somebody probably used my name years ago. And we thought it was my aunt. My aunt, rest in peace. She was wild in the streets, so she probably got arrested one night. Probably had warrants and wanted to get out of it and gave the cops my mother's name. This is what we're thinking.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my God.
I hate that person that doesn't have the fake name ready and gives someone else's name.
Well-
Throwing another family member on the bus.
Well, it's my aunt. Her and my mom obviously look alike. So, back in 1973, I'm not sure what the technology was, if pictures would pop up on the computer, if they even had a computer at the jail. I don't know. So we're thinking like this had to be my aunt. My mom has never been arrested, so she has no idea what this officer is talking about. So I go in and I'm like, well, let me try to talk to this guy just to see what's going on. Because like I said, my mom has crossed this border plenty of times. So I go in there, automatically, he doesn't even want to talk to me. He's like, I'm not at something to disclose that information. I'm like, wait, I'm not coming in here asking you about somebody else that's trying to get through the border. I'm talking about my mom that's in the car with me. Like, why is she not being allowed in? So then my mom comes in and she was like, this has to be a mistake. Like, I've never been arrested, whatever. So now I'm thinking like, we just drove all the way to this border. Now we're going to have to drive all the way back to the city.
You're having PTSD and deja vu.
Of when me and my cousin tried to get through the border.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my God. This is
for
terrible.
2 with Montreal.
This is crazy. So we go back to the car.
Gonna get you an Expos jersey.
So at this point, my mom was like, well, listen, I'll just get a hotel room near the border here. And she's like, I'll just get the train back in the morning. Y'all can go ahead. I was like,
Damn.
that's not happening.
Yeah.
Like,
That's wild.
I was like, we'll just drive back to New York. It's another 5 hours, whatever. We'll just drive back. So I go inside because my mom needs to use the bathroom. They say the bathrooms are broke. It was a pipe burst or something. They can't even use the bathroom. They have to go somewhere like to a hotel and use the bathroom that's like 2 minutes down the road. So I'm like, all right. They was like, but we'll be done with. So I'm like, but why are y'all holding our passports if my mom can't come in? We should just be able to get our passports and leave right now. Why are we still waiting? So then as I'm in there talking, the guy that told my mom she couldn't come in, he comes out. He says, hey, my supervisor would like to talk to you. So we go back in. I go with my mom. The supervisor, super cool. I think his name was Officer Murphy. Super
That's
cool
funny.
dude. He looked at it. He was like, you can go in. Like, this is obviously something that happened 50 years ago.
Yeah, you would just think off rip.
I'm like, my
Even
mom
if
is
that comes
70.
up,
Like, do you
like-
think she's coming to Montreal to
look
go
at this.
crazy?
He's here for some jazz,
And-
sir.
yeah, like we're here to go to the jazz festival.
Yeah.
Like, it was the craziest experience, but
In my opinion, everyone's a suspect.
the entire car, like they might as well have put me, my nephew, all of us up against the car.
Hey,
So we go
never
back in.
forget.
We
Never
go
forget.
back in, get the passports. They let us through. But I do want to say thank you to Officer Murphy. He was super cool. And then one of the other officers, he was like, hey, you're the guy from the podcast, right? And I was like, no, I'm not. And he was like, so if you don't have your shit together and if your mom has anything on record from over 50 years ago, do not try to cross the Canadian borders.
I'll keep that in
Well,
mind.
the real question is, do we believe your mom that someone else used her name, or did she actually assault someone in 1973?
So here's what happened. So my mom called when we got back home to New York. She called to find out what happened was back in 73, a neighbor in my grandmother's building called the police on my grandmother and said that my grandmother was abusing my cousins. It was a lie, whatever. So my mom found out one of the officers my mom knew, and she told her who had made the call. So my mom approached the lady outside of the building when she saw her one day
And assaulted her.
and whooped her ass.
Good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the lady made a report.
That's 70s justice.
Yeah, the lady filed a report. My mother-
Naturally.
Oh,
My
in
mother
my
was-
mind, I'm thinking this happened in Canada.
No. It happened here. So they
Okay.
don't allow Americans
If you have
into
a
Canada
felony.
if you have any type of right.
You
But
would
it's
have
not
a
even
warrant
a
for a
felony.
parking ticket.
It's not even a felony. She was never arrested. It was just a report that was filed.
Wow.
That's so crazy.
It was
that made it.
It was a simple assault. Like
computers and shit.
Hey, I tell you what, that's great filing. I mean, that's whatever system
they're
using
organized,
is
the
very
French.
accurate.
But here's the thing. The reason why my mom was
We lost
stopped,
a bunch of emails.
right? The reason why my mom was stopped that time was because when you try to go through global entry, if you don't have global entry, they dig deeper into
That makes sense.
your history.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that seems fair.
So if my sister would have got into the other lane, like I said,
They
From
probably
the very
only looked
beginning-
like 10 years deep.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
they would have never dug back that far. They dug back 50 years and found
They
that
had
my
that
mom
on
had a simple-
microfiche.
I was like, what the? But it was the crazy experience
I'm glad I listened to you in Houston then.
about what?
Switching into the other lane when they wouldn't let me in preach.
Oh yeah. But I think it's different though. Like I think once you're flying in, I think it's totally different than trying to drive across a border.
I think the risk of the looming terroristic threat of flying is always like, that's the we must stop.
Yeah.
That's the hard line.
Yeah,
But like, yeah, in that case, it's like, dude, we landed, he's here. Like,
Yeah.
go. Like,
he
just,
went through TSA
just
already.
go, man. You
Yeah.
made it through security already. Like,
But
come on.
driving through the border, if you have anything on your record, trying to cross that Canadian, like we saw on even Drake couldn't get 21 Savage to Canada.
Mm.
He
That's
couldn't
true.
perform at the Montreal show.
He had to call the president of Canada to get that girl with a DUI over the border in whatever song that was.
Yeah.
He had to make some calls. But it's a real thing. They don't fuck around at the Canadian border.
Prime
They do
Minister.
not fuck around.
The most nerve-wracking time is going to Toronto for me. The UK, I had, and I don't have anything but like maybe unpaid parking tickets is the most I have in my record period, but I just know how Canada gives it up. Like they'll find any way to send you back to Buffalo Airport.
I was surprised the last time I went to Toronto how easy it was going through customs. Because now sometimes you don't even have to go see the agent. When you scan your passport,
Because
it does its
all
thing.
the filing pop. Yeah.
It does its thing and it lets you through and you just walk through and get your luggage.
Yeah.
That was the first, like I had never experienced not talking to an agent trying to get into Canada.
When I went to, where was it? Was it France? Same day. It was weird. I was like expecting to talk to someone and like have to explain.
When we went to London, I don't think
Yeah,
I
we
went
didn't-
London
we didn't go
too.
to
I
it.
just
I was
I didn't-
pissed.
you was the only one that had to talk to an agent. I think.
No, I didn't. I
in
didn't get the
London-
stamp.
In London, we didn't get stamped.
Oh,
I was
I
mad.
got stamped.
I never had a UK
That's
stamp.
what it was. So did you get stamped?
No.
I didn't get a stamp either. I
Okay,
was so upset.
Okay, that's racist. Number one, I'm the only because I'm the darkest guy here.
Wow.
I had to go see an agent.
Yes, we walked together and then mine went through and the doors just,
Yeah, same.
come on whites. Like they just,
Well, you're
Opened
Irish,
up,
so
yeah.
they
Welcome
was-
home,
they was
lad.
welcome-
Yeah.
welcome home, lad.
welcome home slave. We got you now.
Yeah.
Here's
Welcome
what they were
back.
thinking, yeah.
We put a chip in you years ago. We
They
knew
hand
you'd find your
Rory
way
a
back.
hammer and like send him to a bridge.
Yeah.
Go tinker over there.
It's weird that their railroad system is called the Underground.
That's shit.
Wow.
Nice.
But so your aunt is a liar, is what the
No,
family was
no.
thinking.
So my aunt, she passed away, but she definitely was wild. So we just threw it on her. We just assumed that she had got arrested one night and gave the police my mom's name. That was because, like I said, my mom had never been arrested. So
I don't know how true the story is because my cousin is a liar. He lived in St. Louis for a lot of his childhood. There was a producer, I think his name was J.E., that produced for Nelly.
okay,
I'm pretty sure Nelly used to shout him out. I could have his name wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was J.E.
Yeah, you're right. He produced Country Grammar.
So someone that my cousin went to high school with robbed J.E. of his chain and
Wow.
got caught
Here's
like
Jake.
later on without the chain and told the police that Michael Farrell was the one that took the chain. So all the cops showed up to my cousin's house. My cousin is not like a person that's going to snatch a chain, wasn't even there, anything, and got arrested for this because someone told the name. Obviously ended up not being true. J.E. then took my cousin out for dinner to apologize because he had to pick him out the lineup of who took his chain.
oh wow.
And it wasn't my cousin. I know, riveting story.
Did they have the right guy though?
The guy, yeah,
He's still on the lam.
Yeah, the lamb.
for stealing J.E.'s chain. No, he got arrested and said it wasn't him and it was Michael Farrell. My cousin was nowhere near the incident, wouldn't have taken anyone's chain to begin with.
Mhm.
I don't know why he decided to use my cousin's name, but they did take my cousin in and J.E. said that wasn't the guy.
Has anyone ever lied on your guys' names?
100%, I'm sure.
Oh, they've lied
But
on
for
my
something
name,
of
but
that
not like,
foul, not like
not
Yeah.
criminally. I don't think so.
And I found that out. I found that out when I had actually gotten arrested. Me and my brother got arrested one night, and I gave them my information. They got my ID and everything. Run them out. So they're like, "Hey, you have a something on your account." I was like, "What?" I was like, "That's not me." So they automatically knew because the guy that in the description he had tattoos. Obviously, don't have any tattoos.
Yeah.
So they said, look, somebody has your information, and they got arrested and they used it.
Damn.
He's like, so you might want. No, I'm talking about he had my social security number.
Oh, damn.
And my name. So I was like, that's not me. But they knew. They went through they was like, he had tattoos on his arms and everything like that. You don't have any. They was like, so, but they was like, be careful because somebody is using your.
Did you have to change your social? How does that work?
And what was Thanksgiving like?
No, I didn't have.
Jesus
I didn't.
Christ.
I didn't change my social, but any other running that I had with police after that, I made sure that I did mention that. Like somebody had used my name and my social before.
Kind of a nice out.
I suppose.
I used my homeboy's name one night. I had got pulled over, and I gave him my homeboy's name and a birth date.
That's fucked up.
And so, but
It's really fucked up.
you know
That's so
But no, I just got pulled over. It wasn't nothing like I had nothing in the car now. Like I just got pulled over. But I didn't know that police have a app on their. They don't have to walk back to the car
Instagram.
anymore. No, not Instagram.
It's like Instagram.
They have some
Facebook.
type of thing on their phone where they put in your information and everything comes up. Like they don't have to go back to their car, sit on the computer no more.
Yeah.
Do that.
it's
They
like the
stand
Apple
right
Pay.
outside the door.
When the waiter just hovers over you and makes you pay in their face and stares at the tip amount.
So here's the funny shit. Cool cop, right?
The computer was more intimidating to me. All that
no.
time you sitting there like, what are they going to find?
Because you're trying to see through the window, the
Listen,
mirror.
the computer, you can tell, because you can tell by their body language when they get back out of the car, like, I'm not going home tonight. Like, you can just tell it's the way they get out of the car, like, they mean business. Like, they get out, they start talking. Whenever they do this to the shoulder, it's like, oh, shit.
Reaching for
they
the
calling
cuffs.
for backup. So I gave them my homeboy's information one night, right? And he put in the information in the phone. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? I'm like, oh, shit. He looks at, I guess, my homeboy's information. The picture pops up. He keeps looking at me, looks at my homeboy, looks at me, and I'm just like, I'm about to go to jail. Like, because me and my homeboy look nothing alike.
It's Rory.
No.
I was going to say, every time I use Jamal Clay, the cop never believes me.
So I'm sitting there, I'm like, fuck, I'm about to get locked up.
I wish karma hit you for real, and he had a warrant.
No. I always make sure,
Both get
anytime,
jammed up.
if I do that, and the reason I did that is because I thought I had a warrant.
Yeah.
So I was not giving him my name. So he looks at me and he's like, yo, get out the car for a second. I'm like, fuck.
But don't they just ask you for your license off rip? Like, how did you avoid?
I had nothing. I had basketball shorts on me with no pockets. Literally, I just
but
ran out
like,
the
you
house.
also have to drive with your license.
Yeah, but
But I've been pulled over without a license, and they do ask. They ask your name and birthday, so they can run. They don't have anything to run, so you have to give them something.
Okay.
So I get out the car. He pulls me to the back of the car. He's like, listen, I know this is not you. Like he shows me the photo.
Did you laugh?
I was fucking crying laughing. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, yo.
Did you say it was a filter? Like,
I know. I was like, yo, come on, man. I was
yo,
like,
I'm catfish.
I was like, come on, man. I said, that's me. He was like, you gonna be honest with me? Like, he showed me the phone. I was like, that's me. He was like, he said, you know what? Because I respect that you're just not budging. He was like, just tell me if there's anything in the car. I said, I promise you there's nothing in the car. So he just did a quick little flashlight look. He said, listen, man, get out of here. Just drive safe the rest of the night.
that's hilarious.
Coolest
super
fucking cop ever.
Cool.
Jesus
And I'm
Christ.
talking about, and I had that before. Like, when we had shit, like I had weed in the car before.
You had some keys in the trunk.
No, hell no.
All right.
We had weed, though. We had like a lot of weed. We might have had like almost a pound of weed in the car.
I mean,
Got pulled over. The cops pulled us out the car, found the weed. They was like, listen, we don't care about this weed. We want coke and we want guns.
Damn.
I was like, well, there's none of that in the car. They was like, all right, y'all have a nice night. Left the weed on the back seat. Like,
Yeah.
didn't like take the weed, nothing. Like, they was just out for guns and coke. That's it. But you rarely in New York, you rarely run into cops that will do that though. Like, they find weed back, and this was like mid-2000s, a pound of weed, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
I mean, but we pulled out of like Melody on Steinway where the gun police are waiting, and just pulled people over. They're just looking for guns.
Yeah.
We never had anything when we got pulled over, like as far as like weed or even bottles of alcohol.
Yeah.
But they said right away, like, get out of the car. We're just looking for guns.
Mhm.
That's all we're looking for.
Even at the airport, a lot of people have like the misconception that those dogs that are there on the
Drug dogs.
They're not drug
They're
dogs.
like
They're
bond
all
dogs, right?
they're weapons dogs. Yeah.
Not to say you should be traveling through TSA with
Oh,
heavy
no.
drugs on you,
No.
but like I do know, like my homeboy one time had some weed in his bag, like
They
not
don't
even a
care
lot.
about
It was
that
like
shit.
2 joints. He was panicking, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" He was like, "Yo, I forgot I got weed in my bag." I said, "Well, how much?" He was like, "Just 2 joints." I said, "That's nothing, bro." I
Bro,
was
it's
like,
not an AK.
Yeah, I was like,
Good.
they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
About
Right.
I hate to talk about like good cop experiences because of my complexion. Like I'm kind of batting 1,000.
No, we get it.
We understand.
But the funniest cop interaction I did have was on South Orange Ave in Newark. I got pulled over. Didn't know why. I was like, okay, this is odd. Then I'm thinking, probably pulled me over because this is a neighborhood that white people aren't in, and it may look like I either just bought drugs or am going to buy drugs. Happens. Pulls me over, takes my license, goes back to the car, really quick, comes right back. Anyone ever tell you you look like the professor?
That's sick.
That's amazing.
Swear to God.
He just tossed you a basketball.
Gave me my license.
Let me see your move.
Dribble.
Dribble for your freedom.
Yeah. Check up.
A cop telling you to check up.
Oh my
All right,
God.
go around the corner to the courts over there.
Right.
That's hilarious.
One-on-one to get you out this ticket.
That's great.
But I've told the shroom story when I was 16 in the park. I feel like I've told it on this podcast, so I don't have to retell it. First time I ever took shrooms, I was tripping beyond belief with my friends. Cops came to the park. It was after dark. Weren't allowed to be in there. Put us all up against like the bathroom shit and asking our names and birth dates. And my friend's birthday was really September 11th.
That's hilarious.
But I was like tripping balls. So I got off the wall and started dying laughing. I was like, your birthday is September 11th. And the cop pushed me so fucking, it like almost took the shroom trip out of me, pushed me so fucking hard up against that shit.
That's hilarious.
Look how far we come now. Like he was smoking weed in the park.
No, we were
Like
No,
that's
he was high on
no,
shrooms.
we were on shrooms.
Oh, shroom.
My man's had his shirt off and it was the fall. Like we looked,
Okay, yeah.
one, we weren't supposed to be in that park.
that looked like
after
a
dark.
gang initiation.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. We looked very suspect. I think the cops were more scared of us than we were of them at that point.
Yeah.
Because we were acting, I swear there was acid in that shit. Because I've done shrooms a lot since. Never have I been tripping like that.
Well, that
I was in a
First time you can always react differently.
Bro,
than,
I was in a different fucking world.
yeah.
Like that shit was terrifying.
Well, we had also something happen to you over the last few days since I've seen you, Rory.
Because of my skin tone?
Because of your skin tone. Your skin tone is getting
You guys will never
into some
understand.
problems out here. I will never understand the white man's problems in America.
Yes. It's a crazy plight. Especially straight white men.
Especially straight white men.
Under attack.
It's true.
So
It's not the country I grew up in.
explain this tweet to me, Rory. So you sent this to the chat. So No Name,
Yes.
who is an artist,
Great rapper.
great rapper, added you and had
Didn't at
some
me.
thoughts. Or didn't at you.
Mentioned him though.
Just mentioned you.
So no adding. Yeah.
So
No dap, no at.
Nope.
nothing. Says Rory, period. That means business.
Well, let's give some backstory.
Okay, what is the backstory? Do y'all have a history? Do y'all have any type of
No, I've been a fan of No Name for quite some time. So much of a fan that when she said she doesn't want white people at her shows, I never bought a ticket again.
that makes sense.
Like I'm a dedicated fan.
yeah. You're a lawyer.
That's how what you want. Then
Yeah.
I watch in the parking lot.
Right.
No Name is putting out a record with Jay Elect and Aaron Allen Kane, who I love as well, this coming Friday. And No Name has been on the Twitter timeline for a while with the perception. I'm not saying this is who she is, but the timeline's perception is she's very much the super leftist activist. She always has an issue with anything any other rapper does.
Hmm.
That's what the timeline perceives her as.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's much more than that, but it's Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So people then brought up some of JLX's alleged anti-Semitism in certain rhymes, which he's been accused of since he came out, like nothing new,
Mm-hmm.
and started attacking No Name. Like, all right, you attack every other person about racism, homophobia, just everything in general
Right.
from the far leftist mentality. Why are you putting out a song with Jay Elect if you stand on all these moral grounds of, your entire career?
Mm-hmm.
That's why they were attacked. She then said, Rory, another white man,
You.
yes, well, there could be others, I don't know, who doesn't even make music, put Jay Elect on an album he curated. And again, crickets. But
Niggas.
see, me as
Wow.
the mascot for the woke mob, so I get it.
Great teamwork.
I'm with her. I'll give her pushback on the doesn't even make music part, but that's a separate conversation. I'm kind of on her side with this.
Why?
Russ, Hove, Travis, every artist Jay has collabed with, West Side Gun,
Mm-hmm.
I think Jay was on Hitler Wears Hermes mixtape.
Mhm.
Like, there's been plenty of times where people could have been attacked for having an issue with collaborating with Jay Elect. Now, understand, No Name in the Twitter sphere has put herself in a category where she's criticized people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really land on that where I constantly have an issue with every last thing people do. I'm not an activist, but I'm still with her on this. Like, she can't make music with people that have some alleged past, then you can't make hip hop.
Right.
Her point was also, which, Twitter took, she was like, I've listened to rap lyrics that are about rape and murder and violence. Like, we're drawing the line now with Jay Elect having some possible alleged anti-Semitic bars.
Right.
So don't listen to hip hop, period, then. Because there's misogyny, there's everything in hip hop. So I do see her side from a real logical standpoint. Now, I understand anytime someone that has came on the timeline and been quote unquote woke, you are now making yourself a target for any mistake that you make. You're going to get murdered for it because you've been the person that murders people for making mistakes.
Right.
But I'm with her.
I mean, I get it. I understand what she's saying. But at the same time, man, again, this is hip hop. And I understand her responding to people in her mentions. But, if we're going to go dig through artists and things that they say and hold them accountable for everything a rapper has said in their life or in their career, I mean, everybody that's done a collab with anybody would probably get some backlash from fans. Like, oh, you're working with this person. They said this before. They feel like this. I just think, I just thought it was funny that she threw your name out there. Like, I didn't know where that came from. I thought y'all had a history. Like, y'all had kind of like a back and forth on Twitter before.
But what was so funny, no history at all. We've never spoken, never met. The ironic thing is, though, I mean, Jay probably has currently 20 to 25 feature requests. And out of that entire list that he had sent me, I said, you should do the No Name one. Because I just think she's that dope. I think it's that unique. I think the two of them should rap together. Like, it made a lot of sense. That's why when I saw my name in that initially, before I could really read everything, I was like, oh, maybe Jay mentioned that I said do the No Name verse. I thought she was about to say something nice about me.
Give you some props? Nah.
Have you heard the record?
The very white, egotistical human being was like, oh, am I about to get credit?
Right.
Have you heard it yet?
Oh, I've heard his verse. I haven't heard the full song.
Well, she's now, she said she might scrap the album, and she has since deleted her Twitter or deactivated her Twitter. So,
well, I mean, another way to just, take this and make it about me.
Yes, you should.
The replies to her after bringing me up, it's weird where people are defending you but shitting on you at the exact same time. Because they were like, well, how could you compare yourself to Rory, and then just named how I'm like a piece of shit and like not an activist and don't care about the community? Like, you can't compare yourself to that piece of shit. Like, there was mad people saying like, we don't look at Rory that way. And I was like, yeah, thanks. And then I saw why. I was like,
wait a
fuck.
minute.
Yeah. You thought it was love. You thought it was support. Like, nah.
Yeah,
He's a piece of shit.
We don't look to him for positivity.
Right.
But,
Well, hopefully the record is good.
I mean, Jay's verse is great. So,
well, I'm sure Jay did what he had to do, but I'm just talking about the song. Hopefully the song is good. I do like No Name. I think she's talented.
Love Aaron Allen King. She's fire. So I'm sure it's great. And it's good to hear from No Name. It's been a little while. She may have put some stuff out in between, but since that whole J. Cole debacle in the timeline, it's been
she kind of like went under the radar and just fell back a little bit.
Yeah.
Could be wrong. We could just not know. She could have been doing a whole bunch of shit and we just don't know. So I don't want to come across as, rude or anything like that. But I just have not really heard anything from her since the whole J. Cole thing.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know. I sifted through the mentions and every now and then you'll click the Twitter page of someone saying something just to see like who they are.
Yeah.
And the amount of people dying on a wordplay of Jay, I believe he said he was Adolf Spittler. Like, dying on that hill
That's hard.
was kind of hilarious once I looked at other people's timelines that were saying that, like, you're going to die on this hill based off all the other shit you're retweeting right now.
Right.
Now you draw the line here.
People just want to be upset and, have something to go back and forth about. A lot of the times you read shit that's going on Twitter. Like, I do that a lot. Like, I'm on Twitter. I won't respond to a lot of shit, but I'll read it. And then I'll say, like, I can't believe that people really spend time arguing back and forth about some of the shit that they argue about on social media.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me.
Well, speaking of Nazis, we do not have to bleep what I'm about to say. It's actually a fun tidbit of information. 30 Rockefeller,
Mhm.
the famous building here in Manhattan.
Just the building, right?
Yeah.
Just the building.
The pipes within it. So Germany, we during World War II, we were getting a lot of products shipped from Germany. They specialize in a lot of piping and steel.
Mhm.
And the flag used to bear the swastika on the German like flag. So a lot of the products they sent would have that like soldered in, like you know, a raised actual thing. And all of the piping in 30 Rockefeller is from Germany, and they all bear a swastika on the spigot of all of the whatever it's called, the sprinkler system in that building.
What is a spigot? I've
The-
never
when
heard
the
that
water
name
goes.
before.
It's that thing,
Yeah, you know, like the sprinkler shit.
the sprinkler shit.
Oh, like if like
So
if
this is like a
if
newer
a fire
version.
breaks out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
where
you.
these come out the ceiling, whereas like the old ones were literally just, you know, the
Got
walls
you.
that you would see in the lining of a building.
Yeah.
And
Lauren Michaels has not replaced that.
so I learned this
Right.
from Louis C.K. It was one of his favorite
Jimmy
things.
Fallon is a piece of shit.
It was one of his favorite things to do was to bring people in because they could replace pipes, but the spigot, it was a part of the mechanism. They literally couldn't replace it.
Right.
So Louis would say when he would bring people into the building, new comics, whoever was visiting, that was one of his favorite things to share and show people,
To
like
show
the
the
irony
spigots.
of just having these like branded swastikas all over this building.
Yeah.
And he said there was one he would always show people. And I guess word got out that he was like touring it and showing people this. And he said he brought someone there, I forget however many years ago at this point, and then they filed it like down. So you can't see the swastika. They can't change it. It's still there, but
Right.
it's like been rubbed out and filed with like a
Wow.
with something. Yeah.
I mean, if someone just burns down 30 Rock, then they'll be put to use and everything will be gone.
Oh my
True.
god.
That's also an option.
Jet fuel,
Is it?
metal seal B.
Is it an option?
It's definitely an option.
Well, yes, it was fun to be brought into some shit over the weekend because I missed that part of Twitter. I've steered clear, I think, of overly leftist, and I'm not talking about No Name. I'm talking about the people that were attacking her. I've
Mhm.
tried to get away from that side of Twitter. I've been away from right side of Twitter.
Mhm.
I was actually never even near there, but super leftist Twitter. It's been a minute, so it's good to, reconnect with the folks
With the algorithm.
to see what everyone was thinking. And I have an ego.
What?
Mm-hmm.
There were so many comments under No Name. Sis, we didn't listen to his album.
Oh,
Were you more offended? Were you more
Like,
offended?
fuck.
Were you more offended by those comments or people saying Rory's a piece of shit though? Like which hurt you more?
Oh,
The album
sis, we didn't
critiques
listen to
or-
his album.
Okay.
It hurt me way
I
more.
figured.
than
Of course,
shit.
as that should. Like, damn, y'all ain't listen to my shit.
Yeah.
It's funny how you because I'm pretty sure that wasn't even on your brain at that moment, right?
No.
But then when you read some shit like that and they're like throwing that out there, it's like, well, damn, like, all right, well, fuck y'all too. 'Cause you gotta get caught into that energy, like, all right, well, fuck y'all then. Like, but that's why I love social media for that, because it'll remind you about certain things and you're just like,
Just grounds you real quick.
I just caught her
Right.
stray for no fucking reason. Like, all right, cool, that's what's up.
Rory's
Sitting
like
here
playing
mod-
with his daughter, being a good dad.
He just called, yo, fuck
He's
his
like,
album.
He like, hands
Fuck your
her off. He's like,
album,
wait a
man.
minute. Let me get on my
No,
phone.
no.
No, I had my mom, her best friend, Amara, all chilling on Saturday at my house. It was a really fun day. And I just opened my phone
To see fuck your album.
just to see a bunch of people.
No, that's a great day. Balance. You gotta have balance.
Oh, for sure. And I mean,
you're having a great day with the family, social media, fuck Rory's album.
I didn't really expect that side of Twitter to listen to it. What actually made me feel really good was that No Name knew I had an album. That's actually how I looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
Because she even was like, oh, he curated. It's not like she just searched Apple Music and
Yeah.
Right.
she described me outside of not making music. That was my only. I had a few things that hurt my ego. No Name, we get a studio. Oh,
Got a beat for you.
yeah, for real.
So Drake, first of all, Drake is on his tour right now. If you don't know, it was all a blur. That's the name of
Yeah,
it?
it's all Blur Tour.
It's all a blur tour. He brought out J. Cole in Montreal to replace 21 Savage, who couldn't cross the Canadian border. And it's always, anytime we get Drake and J. Cole on stage together, it's always dope to me. I think both of those two are the two guys, and Kendrick is there as well.
Yeah.
But J. Cole and Drake.
Did you walk J. Cole on the do's and don'ts of getting into Montreal?
No, J.
Global
Cole.
entry.
J. Cole is one of those guys who I don't think he'll have a problem getting in anywhere.
J. Cole looks like he would drive to the Drake show in Montreal
himself.
In like a 2000 Toyota.
Yeah, he didn't.
Camry.
He didn't fly. He literally drove.
Like he'll pull up himself. He'll ask where's parking.
No. He paid for parking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he paid for parking.
Like, you could have pulled into the arena. Like, it's easier to get out this way.
Yeah, like whatever he came there with is what he's going on stage with.
Yeah, some
like
Crocs.
That's just Cole. That's why you gotta love Cole, man.
He might have parked at the hotel and took public transportation to the arena.
I could see that.
Yeah,
I could 100% see that. But they hit the stage in Montreal together, which was dope to see. And Drake did ask Cole, can he be on the next album?
Oh,
he wants to do a song with him. He wants to work with him. So everybody was talking about that, which would be dope for them to.
Jodeci Part 2?
I would want to hear something totally different. I would want to hear something totally different from Drake and J. Cole. I would want to hear something, because to me that Jodeci was like a layup, because it's no hook really. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like just bars. The beat is looped. Mm-hmm. Let them go off. I would want to hear
the morning joint. What's that called? In the morning.
In the morning. Yeah.
That's a song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drake got the good hook.
But I would want to hear something a little, because where these two are at now in their careers, Drake being partial, J. Cole being partial owner of an NBA team now, Drake having to deal with Jordan Brand. And there's so many things that they have going on outside of like rap, like as businessmen now. I would just want to hear them kind of like on some braggadocious shit, get that off. Like kind of at each other. You know what I mean? Because obviously they're friends and, they're cool. But I would just want to hear something like that with them two just kind of like throwing their accolades at each other. And just some cool shit like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want them to go full like timestamp record per se. More like when Ross and Drake, like the Omerta joint, that world, I would like to see them too.
Yeah.
I don't want them to try to make a hit together. And I don't want them to get super, super deep either. I'm kind of with you. Like,
just some braggadocious, have fun shit.
The last 12, 13 years that y'all have dominated.
Yeah.
Get your shit off.
So it was good to see Drake bring out J. Cole for that.
And DJ Moma.
DJ Moma had a set. That was dope.
Incredible.
To see that.
Drake and Cole rapping back and forth would be dope too.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
This generation doesn't really do that. I mean, outside of like obviously the Migos, but like the top 3, 4, 5 rappers that rap. Mm-hmm. We don't really hear them ever go back and forth.
Yeah.
That like art, I feel like is gone.
Corday's had a good string of those kind of records.
Him and Pac do that well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But even like more on some rapping shit, like posse cut rapping stuff. Because when Corday and Pac do that, it's like for amazing fucking dance records.
He put one out. It's old, obviously, but it was one with Juice WRLD that they recorded years ago with it was an Eminem beat, and they got it cleared. It came out a week or two ago. It's a really great record, but those don't happen much.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
Well, Drake is he's in New York now for the New York leg of his tour. He'll be here for I think a 9 or 10 days. He's doing the Barclays and the Garden again.
How many women did you promise passes to?
None. Honestly, I forgot that the show was this week in New York until I think last night somebody had.
So you saw the jet in the sky?
No,
that's hilarious.
That you thought was a cloud?
That's nasty.
That's a sleigh over Manhattan.
So you saw a cloud and was like, "Oh, it's Drake. It's the boy."
Yo, looking up, seeing Drake's plane and say, "Oh, Drake's here."
Yeah. Is it a bird? Is it a plane?
That's disgusting.
It's Drake.
The boy.
That's that cloud moving so fast.
That is nasty behavior. But he's in New York again for his New York leg. What do we think he's gonna bring out? Like, who are some of the artists? Do we think Dipset is?
He did that already for the Apollo.
He can't do that.
I don't think that's happening again.
That's like you mentioned it before. That's such like a Harlem thing. People feel like when they go to Harlem, they got to get that off.
I don't want to sound like a hater because I think it would be dope to see him bring out Cam and Jim and them in the Garden. But I don't want to see him bring out Cam and Jim in the Garden.
Is Jay still in town?
I was about to say, I think because Beyonce's leg is about to come around this area.
Yep. And if not, I mean,
I think they're nearby.
I would have said Hove, but I think I'm the only one with this conspiracy. The Book of Hove that came out, everyone that saw the shit at the Brooklyn Library dedicated to Hove, it looks incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Go check that out. But they had an actual book, the Book of Hove. It's blue with white lettering in a specific font.
Mm-hmm.
Drake's troll poetry book that came out 3 weeks ago, is very similar looking to that. Yeah. And part of me thinks Drake maybe got wind of the Book of Hov when they were putting it together and quickly put this shit together. To troll Hov, the Book of Hov, and then he did the most basic, funny shit inside of that book.
There's no doubt in my mind that that's exactly what happened. Somebody sent him a picture.
I'm not crazy.
Book. No, somebody sent him the picture of the Book of Hov.
Yes.
I'm willing to bet that this is what happened. Somebody sent Drake a picture of the Book of Hov.
Yeah.
The museum, everything was going up. Like, this is not something they just did overnight. This was planned for
sure, yeah.
quite some time now. It's a beautiful exhibit that they have in Brooklyn for Jay. He got that, and I think that you're right. He absolutely pressed up these quick caption one-liners, called it poetry, and put this out as for the rollout of his album, which didn't come out yet. But this is still a part of the rollout. 100% think that this is exactly what happened, which is why I don't think, I don't know, man. I don't think that Drake doesn't like Jay. I think he loves Jay. I just think that Drake is so competitive. I don't think he would share a Madison Square Garden stage with Jay-Z.
Even though he's already done the Garden, like he's solidified that he can carry the Garden.
For sure. But because the thing is, who has Drake ever brought out on stage that was a bigger artist than him?
Kanye, OVO Fest.
But
he brought out Kanye when I saw him in Chicago too.
Yeah, but he brought out Kanye in Chicago?
Drake Future Tour. They were on tour at the United Center. I remember I told that story on the pod. Kanye rose from the ground. It was during the Life of Pablo era.
He doesn't do that in Toronto.
Insane.
He does it.
Toronto, I can understand.
MSG, that's kind of like you get away with it no matter what. It's Hov. He's going to be the biggest. You don't look crazy or less than of if you bring Hov out at the Garden.
I just don't think Drake could do it, man.
I don't think he's gonna bring out Hov either.
You think for lack of like having a song, you don't need to really do a song together. Just
No, I think Hov would do PSA and Drake would do a speech of how important he is, the way Drake does those speeches, and then they would move on. I think it's very possible, though I think Hov would do Barclays. He wouldn't do the Garden just because of the ties there.
Makes sense.
But I can see that definitely happening. I think Drake was certainly trolling Hov with that. I think he probably still feels some animosity with the Watch the Throne shit that, him and Wayne were talking about before Watch the Throne came out. And he's made comments about it. And they've had their shots back and forth, but have collabed afterwards.
What's the name of the song with Drake and Jay?
Pound Cake.
Then there's also Lights.
We need that. We need a performance of that.
There's one off Scorpion, too, that they have together that kind of slept under the radar.
Yeah, it wasn't really
I'm just saying, in terms of like their most recent collab.
I got to see. We got to get Pound Cake.
Nah, he can't do Pound Cake because he's dissing too many people in it. I think Light Up you get. Especially because it's like Hov kind of giving Drake some game on his first album, and now they're together on stage. Like I see Light Up happening.
That's like a take your
and Pound Cake. Moment. Pound Cake. Hov went for like fucking 70 bars.
Yeah, which is why you got to let him get that off live.
Hov in the midst of Beyonce's tour, watching his kids opening up this museum, is not memorizing the Pound Cake verse. And I don't want to see Hov say cake, 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 cake in the bar.
Nah, you got you.
No, the crowd is saying that.
Saying that.
The crowd says that. The crowd takes that.
Light Up would be fun because that's
so he disses Beans in Barclays Center at this point in his career.
Yeah, that's true.
He doesn't do that. I'm not saying him and Beans are even on good terms, but Hov in this point in his life is not taking.
But Jay is witty. He'll change that one bar. He could change that one bar. Like,
I guess
on winging it, he could just say something right there where it's, you know what I mean?
I think we get Nas somewhere in this. I don't know if Drake is going to go on another big tour like this for a couple more years.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to make his pop-up rounds.
He's going
having Cole do Montreal, despite the 21 Savage shit, makes me think he's focused on a lot of pop-ups for this shit.
Yeah.
How many days is he doing in general in New York? 4, I guess?
No, 6.
6 or 7.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Like 4 Barclays, 3 Garden or some shit.
No Ice Spice?
Don't they have a issue?
They're at the Barclays for 4 nights, MSG for another 3.
Which is
7, yeah.
local, and we don't have to get into too much Drake talk.
He can't do Ice Spice because of Nicki. Or no,
they're
on
cool.
good terms. I always forget who's in the beef. That'd be fun.
Hard. It's hard keeping up with the beefs.
Yeah.
Pause.
That would be fun if Ice Spice came out.
I'm just glad I wasn't the only one that thought Drake was trolling with that book. book a whole shit. When I saw that cover, I was like, oh, look at fucking Drake.
It's definitely troll. Drake he's the king. He's low key top of the troll list at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
don't even think it's close.
His trolling is on a whole different level.
It surpassed his timestamp records. What'd you guys think of his interview with what's the young
Bobby
lady's name?
Altoff?
Bobby Altoff.
Sounds like a Jay Electronica bar.
The Altoffs?
Yeah.
You know Jay gonna put your whole family lineage in the bar.
Yeah, with the Rothschild. I thought this was funny. The full interview, I think, drops today, but we saw clips over the weekend that seemed funny. I mean, this girl's content is very satire, dry. Watch some of her stuff after the clips. I wasn't aware of her.
She did Armani. Her last one before Drake was Armani.
I saw that.
That's a good bump for him.
But this was funny. I see why some people would be upset about it, but
upset?
Why upset?
Well, Elliot made a comment saying Drake hasn't done like a real interview with someone from the culture since Rap Radar. And it's been quite some time, and he keeps doing interviews with people outside of the culture, and it's more fluff, funny shit. But like, I thought the Sunday conversation was fucking hilarious. This, I think, is cool.
This type,
like I laughed. Don't get me wrong.
This is the type of shit I think Drake likes doing.
Little yachty, but that was very fluff.
Yeah, like I think he even the rollout for him, the 21 Savage album,
the fake press run,
that was
genius.
That was genius. I think that's the type of shit. I don't think because I kind of understand Drake because we're podcasters, so we can talk about it. We have gotten to a point where it just seems like too much interviews. Everybody's talking to everybody. Everybody's interviewing everybody. Podcasters are interviewing podcasters. Like criminals are interviewing criminals.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just too much. So it's like I think Drake's angle is with the album was like, let's just have fun. The album's coming out. Download it if you like it. Some joints on there we think y'all fuck with. We don't have to sit down and have these in-depth conversations all the time about serious shit and what do you think about the cultures and what was your inspiration behind this track and this that. It's like, yeah, I get it, but like let's come up with a new way of saying, okay, I have this product that's coming out and I think people are gonna like it. And here's why. Let's show our personality more, which is what, things like this do. Mm-hmm. Drake can be in bed with a spritzer in his hand and having funny conversations, dry humor, and play a Tiger song. Like things like that. Great is record. Just like, it's, you know what I mean? I think that's just the way to go with some of this stuff. Like it doesn't have to be a sit down, interview type of thing all the time. It's like, let's have some fun.
Now, would I like a in-depth interview with Drake? Of course I would. But I don't know if it's super, super needed at this moment. Mm-hmm. But I do get Elliot's point. Like the Yachty thing, that's your man's. You guys did a really cool, light friend conversation on the beach. Yeah. Enjoyed it. And now you're going outside the culture to do press. Mm-hmm. I get Elliot's point. I do get it.
I understand it. But at the same time, again, I just think, looking at it from Drake's perspective, maybe his thing is, I want to have fun. If I'm going to do, an interview like me and Yachty on the beach, just talking about just, whatever the hell we want to talk about. The rollout for the album. What is the name of that album?
Her Loss.
Her Loss. The rollout for Her Loss. Let's troll. He had everybody thinking he was really on Howard Stern. Let's have fun. Like things like that. I think it's just unique ways and different ways of doing press. And I think that's what artists want.
And to Rory's point, like those fit in different chapters of his career. An interview like that makes sense, but he's in like a fun city mode in terms of the music he's putting out, the content, just the concept of all of Her Loss. Like the stuff like the Bobby stuff fits that mold more than it would to do like, tell us what you think, bro. Yeah. Like this album's like, it's funny. It's great music, but it's a funny project.
We had fun doing it. And I think that whole dry humor kind of interview thing is kind of like running thin too, though.
Why you say that? That's always been Drake's humor.
No, that's always been Drake's humor, but there are a few, podcasts and shows like that.
Man's humor.
What makes another man laugh?
And I got news for you.
I think that's kind of running its course too, though.
Why?
Only because I see a few shows where that's their thing now. Yeah. The dry humor, satire type of thing. where you ask a question and, you know, like kind of like, it's like, is this a real question? And just the reaction, the energy is kind of like just dry humor type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. It's fun, but I just know how things take off when people see something work. It's like, here comes the floodgate.
But that's the beauty of that type of humor. Like, that can't really catch the way podcasting caught, or mixtapes, or creating t-shirts. Like, everyone can kind of do that, but you see who can do it good and who can't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the satire, dry humor thing, everyone can just go fake the funk because it's popular.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Kayla with Sunday Conversations does that great, and it shows. This girl, I don't know too much about, but the clip I saw,
this is her 8th video, by the way.
It didn't take much.
She popped.
Didn't take long for me to research her.
Got some heavies too.
All right.
Okay. I'm sure that had something to do with it.
I mean, that probably helps.
But I don't think it's gonna get ran into the ground because
wait, this is her 8th episode?
She's big on TikTok. She has a
I'm sure she does other stuff.
TikTok following.
8 videos on her channel.
She just started her podcast, quote unquote. But she's big on TikTok. I think that's why Drake targeted her, because it's a big TikTok realm.
Got you.
You said
I just don't see the dry humor shit taking off, because I just don't think
everybody can do
it. Yeah, it comes across weird.
Eric Andre kind of at least commercialized it in a show form.
Sure, yeah, show is classic.
It's insane, yeah. But I think like he's just got another season that just came out, and I don't know the timing of this. Like, his seasons, he's doing really well. His seasons like getting great reviews, whatever. And like, we're seeing pockets of this repeating on like a smaller level, like from the TikToks to the YouTubes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, so many of these artists have to kind of gauge their entire appearance off what the internet is saying. And it's very hard to win with the internet when you do a serious sit down thing.
Yeah. Even
if you smoke it, it still doesn't go very well.
No.
As long as you're making fun of yourself and have some types of jokes in it,
right,
you get killed less.
Because even in the serious interview, the person interviewing you might not even ask the question that a lot of people want to know.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, well, he didn't even talk about this. But yeah, we talked about so many other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's no pleasing everybody.
No,
yeah,
for sure.
True.
Maybe, I mean, Fab may be starting his serious sit down podcast after his
I saw
post.
I saw Fab's IG story. He posted, love hearing the female rappers talking some real shit. Women are so strong, have so many stories and perspectives that we need to hear in pure form. No disrespect to any female rappers out, but I think there's only one style of female rap hip hop being promoted, programmed, and looked at as successful now. And I think we know what that is that he's
What is he talking about?
Well, he's talking about the over-sexualization
Pussy rap
of lyrics, of female artists, things like that. Like, we look at it like the Sexy Red thing. I don't know that song, but I know her pussy's pink and her booty hole's brown.
Naturally.
But that's, it's
never met this woman a day in my life, but I know that about her.
It's informative.
You know.
I saw people killing Fab. I think this is a prime example of right message, wrong messenger.
But why though?
He just did Act Bad with the City Girls.
Okay.
So sometimes, even if you are saying the right thing, shut up for a second. He's allowed to have that.
You think if that record really worked and took off, that he would have said that?
Probably not.
But why do you feel like Act Bad didn't work?
It didn't.
It didn't.
It came and went. I was completely wrong.
Well, you killed the record.
I killed the record. I Tom Cruise the record. I feel him though. And I hate where people just tear apart every word once you actually go into this realm of speaking, especially when it comes to women and rapping. Because then it comes to, oh, well, no one supports, and starts naming all the conscious women rappers. And like, oh, Fab, you didn't take them on your tour. Or like, Fab, why don't you collaborate with them?
Or they say, oh, well, what about the male artists? Y'all been talking about
drugs,
smoking
everything.
weed, your jewelry, going to Miami for fucking 40 years.
And I think all things can be very much true, but it doesn't mean we need to ignore exactly what he said, because it is correct. Where I think when it comes to the male side, that the only type of rap for real that's being promoted, for the younger generation at least, is fucking violent.
Yeah.
And for the women, yeah, it's fucking pussy rap. Like,
yeah. Well, that's why
you can do a whole dissertation You could do an op-ed about why it's this way, this, that.
Yeah.
But let's look at the actual surface level for a second.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let's look at what is.
Yeah.
What is that is what is being promoted and programmed
Well, that's why I said what he said
and supported.
is it makes sense because he did say there's only one style of female rap
Yeah.
that's being promoted, programmed, and looked at as successful. So I understand what he's saying. Again, we talked about this. It's just now that a lot of these artists are not really artists. They have a song that goes viral. They have a bar that takes off that people love from the song. They post it on their social media. They use it as their caption. And that's how a lot of these artists are birthed. But I don't think that he's wrong in saying that that's what's being promoted, because it is.
Yeah.
That's what's being programmed. These are the songs that you hear over and over and over. So
But that's
he's
nothing,
right.
That's nothing new, though.
Yeah.
No, not at all. That's why I think
it's not that
kinda
it's
crazy.
nothing new, but I understand.
Like, what is he technically putting in the limelight here? Outside of the most obvious thing, that the catchiest phrases and the weird,
I think what he's-
most sexualized things are being publicized.
I think what Fab is
Yeah,
saying
it's not
is
just
that
hip hop. That's life.
that's
Yeah.
life. Right.
Yeah.
But I think what he's saying, he's just shining light on that fact, because it is a fact. That is what is being promoted and programmed right now. And
Right
look at
now,
it- look
I
at
don't,
it
I don't even think it's a right now.
It hasn't
I think it's
changed,
been like that.
For female rap.
Absolutely. It ain't just start now.
I mean, it changed because it wasn't like that.
I mean,
like-
to keep it a buck, it really wasn't anything.
What do you mean?
It was Nicki.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We had like one artist that was that female artist that was getting programmed to that extent in rap. At least we're now seeing, yes, it may fall in line lyrically, and it's the copycat effect, but we're at least seeing more women. We're seeing enough women now that there are women on the radio that I don't even know who they are.
Yeah.
Whereas before, if I didn't listen, like, I'm not the biggest Nicki fan, but like I know Nicki, like I know who Nicki is because of how famous she is.
Right.
Like, these people are on the radio and I have no idea who they are, which is dope.
Mhm.
That means that they're just getting programmed for just being,
But I think that's what he's saying. That seems to be the only thing that's being programmed.
But and even like
Okay,
quote
I
unquote
see
when
what
the nerds,
You know what I mean? Like
took
he's
over?
saying, because I think like female MC like Tierra Whack is dope.
fire, yeah.
she's fired.
She should be
There's-
getting her song should be getting programmed.
Doechii. There's a lot
Doechii.
of-
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's what Fab is saying. Like some of these other females need to be getting programmed more too.
Yeah.
And I
agree.
mean, they do get playlisted if that's what your definition of program to some degree. I know there's program can also mean programming your mind to like the shit, but there is certain areas where that is getting love, but I'm like what's visually in front of our faces along with these records is all just
what's
pussy.
going viral.
Pussy shit.
I
That's
don't
what's
follow
going on.
one Ice Spice account at least 3 times a day. I see her bending over and wiping herself.
And even like when the hip hop went back to the street shit, but the era before this, when the nerds quote unquote took over during the blog era, there was when like Nitty Scott, there was a lot of female rappers that were in that realm that they didn't promote when we were promoting positive music for a
Yeah.
little while.
Mhm.
So that's where it does differ, I think, with the men and women. But let me choose my words very carefully here. Missy Elliott, one of the most talented human beings ever to grace the earth when it comes to music.
Mm-hmm.
Her biggest records are sexual records. And that's not a Missy thing. That's just a earth thing.
Yeah.
That's just what works
That's an
forever.
earth. That's an earth.
That's an earth thing.
That's Mother Earth.
Yes.
That's her preference.
From religion to music. every last bit of everything is sexual. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a can't win for losing thing.
I mean, listen, I love to see, any of these artists just getting a shot to do their thing and take care of themselves and their family, make money, tour, do whatever it is they want to do. But I do understand what Fab is saying, the programming part. That seems to be the only type that's being programmed.
Well, Sexy Red's programming our youth. She did a show
She's
at
not
a school
programming the youth.
telling them how her pussy pink and her booty hole's brown. Is this as dangerous as drag people reading to children?
No, Julian, I don't
no,
think this.
and we don't
No.
think it's a problem for
I don't-
drag
yeah, I
people to read to children.
Yeah, I don't
Pick
know.
one.
All right. Well, this is an old clip, I assume, unless this is the biggest summer school of all time.
That's funny.
Yeah,
This
they all
superintendent, principal, dean, wherever the fuck you're from, whatever it's called, needs to be fired. This
Really?
is insane. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
For
Come on,
what?
man.
Because an artist is visiting a school?
To be fair, they said no one was supposed to go on the court. They rushed the court when she came out. It was supposed to be a little more organized.
Wait, you guys think
that's not what
Sexy Red performing at a high school is something a principal should say yes to?
They're going to all be singing that song no matter what. You know how many like DJs that I know play the clean versions of all these songs, right? And all these proms, and the kids still sing it with curses and all.
Okay, high school kids shoot each other. We should just let guns in the school then, right? Because they're going to shoot each other anyway.
These are totally two different themes. Totally two different messages.
If they're going to do it, we might as well do it under
all the way. Yeah, go all the way.
Bruh, all she's doing is visiting the school.
I'm not even putting this just to a woman that's singing about her vagina. I don't think male rappers that are talking about shooting people should perform in high school.
Male rappers talking about shooting people and her talking about her asshole are two different things.
I love that there's no gray area. There's no in between.
There's a gray area somehow.
I only said that
killing
assholes and bullets.
I only brought that
assholes and guns
because that's what.
Look at the culture. That's all we have.
That's
banana in a tailpipe.
That's not hip hop.
Look how she entered the school.
That's all we had. That is hip hop now.
This is an incredible entrance. It's a double bird.
Yeah, double bird
with gymnasium
with the big blood with the big bees. I guess that's what she threw up. I don't know.
I only say that as a response because that's what people were saying. Like, oh, she can't sing about her pussy, but the guys can go to high schools that sing about shooting people. I'm saying all of it is bad.
I mean, all of it is not the greatest thing ever, but like.
She then said she donated a bunch of like prom clothes and makeup because she didn't have that. She remembered, which I thought was great.
That's awesome.
I think
that should be the story.
Yeah, great.
That should be the story.
Yeah.
Don't perform.
Oh, come on.
Go to the school and just
how are you not going to have her perform?
And you would want, I'm not even going to make it gender specific. You would want your kid at 14 years old to go into their high school and have a woman singing about her booty hole and her vagina after leaving health class when you're going through puberty.
If my kid can handle it, yes.
The kids are listening to this anyway.
They're going to listen. This is going to come up on TikTok no matter what.
I'm with you, but why in school?
This is a special treat for the kids, yo.
All right, let me show my age. When I was in high school, if George Washington Carver would have made peanut butter right there. No, but seriously, if Snoop would have came to my school, and started talking about bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks.
That's awful.
My mother would have called the principal the next day. What's different?
Talking about her pussy and her booty hole?
It's still pussy and ass. She's talking about
women.
It's still. I get the theme is fucked up.
It's just the content. It's I don't want my kid. You understand what I'm saying? It's just like I know my mom would have flipped out if Snoop came in there talking about smoking weed 40 ounces and shit like that. They're like, yo, what message are you trying to send to my son?
When I was in high school, there was a lot of fights, a lot of problems. So in an attempt.
So they invited Ludacris to do move, bitch, get out the way.
It gets even more random.
Drop some bows on them.
It gets more random.
Throw them bows.
In an attempt to unify our school, they brought in Mims.
That's hilarious.
What?
Listen, if you think about it, this is why I'm hot has a lot of references to different regions and their music. It unified hip hop.
Yo, they brought in Mims.
So Mims comes in. My high school was huge. So we had 3 separate lunches. So his plan was to go to each lunch. So I happened to be in the A lunch, the first lunch. And he comes down the stairs. My school there's hundreds of kids in this cafeteria. And our principal that everyone hated grabs a microphone like a bullhorn. He's like, I got someone special. He's trying to play into the culture. He's in a big Yankee jersey.
Yeah.
He's Tarantino'd it.
He's like, I got one of my homies in town. He's big fat Italian white guy. And then he hands the bullhorn to Mims. We're like, who the fuck is that?
Wait, hold on. This is why I'm hot out at the time?
No, it's like a huge.
I would hope so.
No one knows what he looks like though.
That's what I was going to say.
I wouldn't be able to.
Nobody knew what Mims looked like
for a while. But the video.
This was before social media.
Yo, yeah.
But this video was on 106.
7, I think. 6, 7. This is early.
Yeah, but these what grade?
Yeah, 06
what grade is this?
It was a high school, so 9 through 12. So he comes in. They play the record over the speakers, and he's rapping the lyrics through the bullhorn over the speakers on the couch. And I before the first hook, someone goes, "Hey, yo, shut the fuck up!" and he gets hit in the head with a chocolate milk that was open.
Wow.
And then all of his security and his homies surround him, and it was just a massive, one of the biggest food fights I'd ever seen. Just he got hit with so much milk.
How come
Mims
this is our first time hearing about this?
He got
Mims
hit
got
with
a
so
chocolate
much milk they escorted him out of the building. And he never came back for the other 2 lunches. And our principal comes back in.
Of course, he needed to change of clothes in a shower.
He was full.
Yeah.
Our principal came back into the cafeteria with the blowhorn. He's like, I am so upset with every one of you in this building. He is a great person. He was going to share. He's like, because he started with like some fake motivational shit. Mims, he's like, yeah, when I was in school, I was a bad kid. Look at me now. We were like, man, shut up.
We still don't know who you are.
We don't know.
Yeah, Mims is probably not the
He
guy
got
that
bullied out of my high school.
Damn.
Imagine sitting on 87 South for 3 hours with milk draws, just trying to get back to Harlem.
It was
Poor
so,
man.
it was
Just
so
covered
funny.
in dairy.
Yo, man. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So it's like, unless you can get one of the biggest artists, you got to kind of get the viral.
But that's something to that community, I'm sure.
I'm not saying it's not.
Is she from? Where's she from?
I want to say Florida.
I don't know.
Like if it's a school she used to go
I
to,
think
I
she's
get
from
that.
Florida.
Yeah.
I guess I would get that too, but all right, you guys were just talking about the programmed shit. Can we at least start at maybe schools not doing it?
Oh, she's from St. Louis.
Okay, maybe she stole Jay's chain and gave
That's hilarious.
my cousin's name.
She's from Florida, right?
No,
This is St. Louis.
Oh, St. Louis, Missouri. Okay.
Oh, that changes it, right?
Nah, well, this is not the worst thing ever.
You
I
wanted,
get it,
you wanted them to invite Averb.
No. And shout out to A-Verb. She looked.
I love Verb.
Wow.
He's one of my favorite battle
No.
Rory put that on you.
I know when Rory tried to throw it like
Yeah,
that.
right?
No. Don't put that on me.
You don't think Verb could educate these kids? Because I do.
Oh no, he could
Educate
absolutely.
these kids.
Absolutely.
I do.
He got some bars. He got bars for
Yeah,
education
Verb is-
bars for sure.
A very intelligent man.
Okay, so I get it.
I'm still on the side of this is fucking insane. I think
Is it
Jamal's great
insane?
example too. If Snoop came into his high school in '93 and Nate Dogg was singing about gang rape, I think we should get
That'd be
these
kinda
people out
fire,
of this.
though.
He'd probably pick a different song.
Yeah, he'd probably pick a different song.
Pick
Oh,
anything from
Murder
Doggy
was
Style.
the case?
Yeah,
Like, come on, tell me which one.
Pick anything from Doggy Style. Whichever fucking song you want to pick.
Yeah.
I just think you got to be careful about the artists that you bring to
Sure.
perform.
Definitely not Mims.
Well, yeah, apparently
Definitely not Mims.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Mims at least was sort of positive.
Wow.
That song is,
But then it's fucked up because I saw them bring Drake out at fucking Flog Gnaw and they fucking booed him. Like, so
right.
it's like,
Look, you can't win.
can't win, bro.
That's not a public high school.
Yeah.
sorta.
There's high
What are you
schools
guys
in
talking
there.
about?
Flog
paid
Gnaw-
festival.
Flog Gnaw is kind of like a public high school.
There's high schoolers in
They were
there.
definitely in high school. Yeah.
Yeah,
but-
they just weren't on high school grounds. That's
Yeah.
all.
Like I saw when they brought Lil Nas X to that.
Oh, that was a great clip.
I thought that was great because that song is positive.
Wait, where did they bring?
It
Lil Nas
wasn't
X?
like he was in assless
he went
chaps.
to a grade school, like a fifth, fourth grade classroom.
Yeah, and sang Old Town Road.
Yeah, I know
It's
what
great.
Old Town Road is about, though, right?
Okay,
No,
I don't think those
tell me.
those kindergartners like had the
Oh,
mind
now
of John
the kindergartners
Lennon
don't
to get the
know.
metaphor, whereas these high school kids, my pussy pink, my booty hole
Okay,
brown,
fine, all right. One
just
is
left
a lot
Pound
more.
Town. Like it's a little different than
Now that you just keep just reminding me of the whole Pound Town thing even more so.
Oh, but this is before Little Nas X was.
No, this was during that summer.
who. Well,
Was he out? And was he like? Did he come out as gay?
Oh, yeah, as gay? No, this was when Old Town Road was at its like.
Oh, because I was about to say there will be a
Okay.
community.
There's still
that
a
would be-
sexual reference, gay or not.
Yeah, but there will be like if the way Little Nas X dresses now.
he wouldn't. I don't think he.
There's
would dress
no way
that
that
way.
would-
What? No, he wouldn't do that in front of kids anyway. Like, that's,
Yeah, I don't think he would.
And
dress
even
like
if
that
he
in
was
front of
out, I highly doubt he was going to.
He
tell
wouldn't
all
wear
his
leather
kindergartners.
kids. No, he's not gonna do that in front of kids.
assless chaps. For
That's
Billy Ray's
insane.
verse.
Well, if you look at it in the QAnon agenda, that is actually what he would. That's actually what he would. It would have been a pizza party.
That's hilarious.
Lil Nas X would have been serving the triangle slices of pizza. But it's not like Lil Nas X was out there like, hey, young kids, go be gay, suck dick.
Yeah, it's different.
Subliminally, Rory. Yes, he was.
Different.
What is Old Town Road reference?
What you mean? Riding your horse and you can't know more? What do you think that means?
No, stop. He did not mean it
Y'all,
like that.
y'all are bugging. Look at the line,
He's a poet.
fam.
Has
he-
multiple
What do you
meanings.
He
think
did
that?
not mean it like that.
He 100% meant it
Don't
like
Forrest
that.
Gump that record, bro.
Forrest Gump, that record is hilarious. But no, he,
He
definitely
did
meant it
not
like that.
mean that.
What
shit.
did he mean?
Pull the lyrics up.
I
Pull the
mean,
lyrics
yes,
up.
I'm saying you can make his case that that's what he's referring
That's
to.
100% what
That's
he's
some
talking about.
right-wing bullshit that you read.
That's hilarious.
No, that's
It's
some rapper bullshit. that's all rap.
Yeah, that's some right wing bullshit. No, it's not. Like, that's hip hop.
No.
Multiple meanings on a song that are probably
Yeah.
sexual innuendo.
Those are
Yes,
double
that would be hip hop.
entendres.
That's hip hop, sir.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
You think that Lil Nas X read the Farmer's Almanac
Look at
and was
Julian
like,
looking up
only
at
have so much
Yahoo
time
Life
to
for the
harvest
meaning
today.
of it.
Yeah.
Gotta ride my horse till I can't no more.
No, that's definitely
Yahoo
what
Life is not about to tell you what Old Town was about.
That's what Julian's on. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
he's on fucking.
Yeah, he's on the path to success, wealth, and fortune.
You wrote that for Atlantic. Those are your words.
He's signed to RCA.
You're all in cahoots. Well, I'm still on the stance. Call me old fashioned. I just don't think Big Sexy Red is a good candidate for high schoolers to
It's a start.
what?
I don't know. Bringing artists to hopefully influence these youth for a better life.
Why not bring Corday?
I mean, that's my guy. Shout out
You know
to
what
him.
I
He
mean?
just had his first daughter.
Shout out to him.
Congrats to Corday.
I just don't think they should do any of it.
No, I'm not
Like,
mad
period.
at bringing artists for kids to see because they may not be able to afford to go to shows and things like that. I'm not mad at bringing an artist to a school to
Yeah.
talk to the kids and perform. Just what artists and what kind of music are they performing? Like, I think that the principal, they should think about that.
Yeah, they should beforehand. Yeah, what's the message? Hey, is it bringing artists for the sake of just having an artist there, or is there like a
Kind of.
message that they're going to use in part to inspire the children? What it should be. You should use this artist as a vehicle to say something positive to the kids.
Yeah,
You
like
shouldn't be like, my asshole's brown. What up, blood?
Is that what you think she went to go do
that
though?
sounds like a great day at
What
school.
she's doing?
She didn't go do that.
Well, I'm
Watch
trying,
the
I'm trying to
video.
think of my
Who would you have
hypocritical mind state right now, because now I'm thinking of like the high school dances, parties, or whatever that are in the gym or the cafeteria. They let anything play there.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I just guess it's different when you can see her booty hole for real.
You're not gonna see her. She
It's a
didn't
little
come out with
different
her
than just
booty
the
hole.
song.
out.
Who would you have come to your high school to perform?
Yeah, that's actually what I was gonna ask too.
I think.
Dipset.
I mean, listen, they've turned their lives around. I think Cole would be a viable candidate,
Yeah, for sure.
but I don't know if high schoolers care about Cole.
They definitely care about Cole.
To be honest, I think
Y'all don't think high schoolers care about J. Cole?
I don't think so.
some.
So,
Really?
some.
Yeah.
He has records with. I know what you mean, but like he
I
doesn't.
think some of them think he's just the guy on the Dirk record.
That's what I was gonna say.
They probably like Lil Baby more.
Oh, speaking of Little Baby.
Baby have definitely, if they pick the songs he could perform, they keep it good. I think the high schoolers would rather have a TikToker, a YouTuber,
1,000%.
or like a streamer come to their
1,000%.
school than
Mr.
a
Beast.
rapper.
Speaking of
I
Little
think
Baby.
Kai would get a way crazier
Oh
response.
hell yeah!
Oh yeah,
I mean, well,
yeah.
than
Then
most
he would
artists.
light a firework in the
And
cafeteria.
he does some wild ass shit all the time.
Well, that's
Yeah.
just about like pyro safety and like, you know,
yeah, all right.
What were you saying, Mo?
forest fires.
Speaking of Little Baby, once again, y'all owe me some flowers.
Here we go. Oh, the tour shit. God damn it! I hope you didn't.
Because
say
y'all
that.
killed me when I was talking about Chris Brown tour. It's like he needed Little Baby to sell those tickets. Nobody's going to see Chris Brown by himself.
We said
Wait, I'm not giving
We
you
said that?
a single flower for this.
What?
For what?
we said
Well,
that.
now
nobody
Little
was-
Baby's going on his own tour, and he's had to cancel shows.
Maybe
of low
because
ticket
he
sales.
just did a tour.
Oh, that's.
And first of all, we never said that Little Baby sold out that arena and Chris Brown didn't.
I never said that's
Support
what you said.
acts help.
I never said that's what you said. I'm just saying that y'all made it seem like Chris Brown couldn't do it without him.
No, we never said that.
Well, we
didn't
stand
say
it.
What
did
We
y'all
stand
say?
it correct after he sold out all the shit in London. But
No, but I want
we
more
definitely-
flowers. Like I need some.
No,
like,
no,
some
it's-
daisies.
No,
They're
that's
not
all
in
you-
season
Yeah,
right
They're not in
season.
seasons right now.
allergies
No.
going crazy.
This is poor on his team's part. Why would he go on there? He just got off the road.
and
Like,
I don't
what does
think
that
Lil
mean?
Baby
I'm
could
saying
do
people
an
got
arena
their
by
fix.
himself.
People got their fix from him already. Why would they? Like, no one's doubling back a month later to see him.
Well,
again.
people are saying that they think that the tickets are too expensive.
Could be that too.
That's one of the things that I see a lot of people saying. Ticket sales are too expensive. It's like $200 for like not even front row. Things like that. But I don't know. I just feel like y'all owe me some more tickets because y'all made it seem like Little Baby.
More tickets.
I mean, more flowers because y'all made it seem like Little Baby was the only reason that Chris Brown was able to go on tour and sell out these.
That's not
arenas.
what we said.
That's basically what y'all
I'm
said.
just curious what like
I'm paraphrasing.
the Live Nation.
Yeah, super para.
Yeah. No, you're changing
Didn't
what was said.
Yeah.
It's not paraphrasing. That's a lie.
It's called politics.
True.
That's politics.
Can't argue
Great
that.
cover
Yeah.
of them all.
I'm curious what like the Live Nation Spotify conversations and Instagram conversations are. Like, you see someone with 10 million IG followers that sells 8,000 records and can do just 1,500 people in their hometown.
That's sick.
Mhm.
You talking about
Because they
Right?
used to break down the demographics based off streaming and all that shit. Clearly, that's not how it works anymore.
I think here's the one problem I think that is the reason why a lot of these artists don't sell tickets. People's stage show sucks,
Yeah.
especially rappers.
Not every artist is a good
It's
performer.
not very entertaining.
It's not very entertaining.
So,
I see that Little Baby did hire Tiana Taylor's auntie's company to kind of like curate his tour as far as performances and things like that. So hopefully they'll add an element to his live show. But I think that's what it is. I think that once people see an artist like a rapper and they go to his show or her show, and they're like, okay, like they perform the records that we know and we like to hear, but there's no real show.
Yeah. And I mean, you have to start on that early to start that buzz. Like,
yeah,
Travis, of course, streams crazy. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the like illusion of Travis's show being something you have to see, like, I like Travis, but if he wasn't so dedicated to touring, I wouldn't be like, I have to go to a Travis show.
Right.
I would go to a Travis show now because I know it's an experience.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been building that up since album one.
Mm-hmm.
A
Incident
lot of these
aside,
artists
too.
now, even
Yeah.
like, I'm not taking away from Lil Baby's grind. Even in the doc, you saw that he went to every show, performed for 10 people,
Mm-hmm.
but that was more hustle than it was creativity on stage.
Right.
If you don't start that in the beginning, it's hard to hop on the shit now and be like, let me get Tiana Taylor when you're already established and people don't know you to be a performer at all.
Right.
It's tough
you gotta go hard on visuals too.
for sure.
Hard, because the last one I went to for Drake was the Three Migos, and
Oh,
yeah, that like visual like floor. That shit was sick.
And that's very rare because at that
That
point,
costs a lot though.
Of course,
that's rare for an artist
that's
to
what
do
you guys
because one,
spend on.
Drake is Drake.
Right.
Two, he has the money.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't going in there expecting a good show. There had been a rumor, not a rumor, but people had known Drake wasn't like the performer,
Right.
but you like his music.
Of course.
So you'll go.
It's a sing-along.
After that tour, I was like, oh shit, all right, Drake has like a show now.
He stepped
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah.
Kanye
But
had his
he-
moving thing.
He's very few artists get that luxury with the money and hits that they already have that
Right.
get people to an arena.
Mm-hmm.
You could love Lil Baby's music. You're not getting an arena full of people in the entire country. It's just not. It's not happening.
I agree. Not to be a Little Baby hater, I just don't think.
It's not Lil Baby hate. It's
But that's
a-
just-
a honest opinion.
But see, things like that is always interesting to me because when you just hear the talk, well, you read the talk online and then you hear people talk about artists like Little Baby, who I think is dope. I would never think that they would have trouble selling out a show because so many people speak to them like, I hear people frequently say Little Baby is this generation's Jay-Z.
That's
And
wild.
things like that. And I'm like, really? Now I don't want to push back on it so much because it's like I'm not outside as much as I used to be. I'm not in the clubs. So I can't really argue it. But when you say that, I don't think that person should have a problem selling out a show. If you're putting him in that type of space and saying, oh, he's the new Jay-Z. Jay-Z didn't have a problem selling out a show.
I wouldn't even know what that live experience would look like based off the type of music he makes.
Yeah.
It may just look like dancers and pyro. Like, what else do you do with that type of music?
Right.
All of that to say, going back to Maul's thing, I don't think we ever said that he needed Little Baby.
That's what y'all said.
But
Go.
that
He
Little
needed-
Baby
he
be
said
on
he
tour
needed
with
support.
him.
I think Rory said, you think that Chris Brown sells out an arena without Little Baby in 2022?
Because that's who was on tour with him. That's why I use that example. I should have said, to make you feel better, without support. Does Chris Brown sell out an
Yes.
arena without support? That's what I should have said.
I think he does.
But I use Lil Baby because that's who he was on tour with.
Because Chris Brown is a great entertainer. He's a great performer. So
That
he
I
can
will
do
never
that.
knock about Chris.
He
He is
He
a great
can do that.
performer.
He can sell out an arena by itself.
All right. See, now you're changing the conversation again.
I'm just saying.
I feel like I'm married. I apologized for this already. Why are you continuing to bring up? I said I was sorry.
My bad. You're right. You're right.
Guys familiar with Pink Doll? Pinky Doll?
Is that that's a new rapper?
Yeah, is that
That's one of the dolls.
Yeah.
They should have a doll versus for the rapper.
I'm not familiar with her, but I've seen this video making its round.
So it's super popular in Japanese culture, but it's a type of streaming called NPC streaming. And basically, it's mostly women. They're dressed like video game versions of, characters. And it's people buying them gifts. They mimic the sound of the GIF, like repeating it over and over again. Ice cream, all that shit that you see in all these clips.
Mm-hmm.
And people are infatuated by, obviously, the looks of the person, but also like the speed at which they speak and how robotic and formulaic the entire stream is. So personally, content's not for me. I find it rather annoying, but I just want to know, like, before we get into her specifically, what do you guys think of that kind of NPC streaming?
I don't get it.
I mean, that's not my world, but
figured.
Do we sound like old haters? What is the
No.
point? What's the point of it?
It's just
is it like cosplay type of thing?
Pretty much.
No.
Is it like
Not
AMSR,
cosplay.
whatever that shit is called?
ASMR?
ASMR?
It's almost like turning AI into a kink.
Oh, so mental illness.
There we go.
Got it. Okay.
Sure.
So the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So people are getting off to these women pretending to be AI figures.
Hikey, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like explicitly sexual, but they are highly sexual in nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not me kink shaming, but I'm asking: are we just too overly sexualized at this point? Call back to
This is not surprising.
Is this Sexy Red's fault for going to the high school? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If we have to go this far to
This is
get
all
a
Sexy
nut,
Red's fault.
Yeah, this is Sexy Red's fault.
Something I found interesting. A psychologist said this is like people's basic desire to have control over someone and control and connection. So in her streams, Timbaland, one of our favorite producers, was one of her largest contributors to one of her streams, where he was sending whatever. So the more you send, the more you control what she says.
This is what Timbaland was talking about.
Back to AI.
Shit. He wasn't talking about a Biggie song. He was talking about Doll.
Oh, I get
Pinky
it.
Doll.
Oh, Pinky Doll.
See?
Not Biggie. Okay, Tim, you back in our good graces.
That's sick.
Leave the Biggie vocals alone and just get your shit off over here.
So what would happen is like people will gift, let's say, an ice cream cone, and they'll make like a licking sound, or they'll react to, like, let's say, hot peppers, and they'll be like, oh, jalapeno, I don't like it, essentially like that. Yeah, like it.
Timbaland. Oh, Timbaland in the building. Ooh. Oh yeah, we're going there.
He's gonna sign her.
Luto, everything. Where you at, Timbaland?
What is she? What is she?
Jocelyn.
Like nationality wise?
Yeah.
I think she's Dominican.
Ice cream so good. Pop, amazing. Oh.
Yeah.
So it's that for like hours.
I mean, great gig for her.
Like her,
if she's making money, good for her.
The Timbaland thing.
Word.
If she's making money, dope. She found a way to.
She's making bread. I'm sure.
Make money, but this is like,
All right, maybe I'm kink shaming. Is this what it takes?
I mean,
It's like, come on.
I don't think you're.
Everyone has their shit, but like, we have to take it this far.
It is a little weird.
This is very weird. Not a little.
This is like, you have to watch so much fucking porn to have to get to this level. I feel.
I think these are the same people that would fuck like life-size like dolls, and robots, and
like
shit.
Dave.
Who's Dave?
The Dickie's character.
Oh yeah.
No, that was Dave.
That was just Dickie.
I think like
no, it's his actual name. It's the show. Is that That wasn't Lil Dicky. That was David.
I think it goes back to what Julian had said from the article, which is that people have a kink to controlling someone. So if you paid them out, because you pay in coins and shit like that, you paid a certain amount, you unlock that certain emoji, you sent it over, and they do and react to whatever you send over. And they might say your name.
I mean, but I guess if this stops people from wanting to be in control without consent, I'm all for it. But this may, I feel like, lead people to,
I think,
after your emoji gets read 10 times, you have to go to the next level.
And try it in real life, like with somebody outside in a
throw
club,
emojis at people
at a bar. Like, I just think that this is. Listen, if you got kinks, cool. That's your own prerogative. But some of this shit, you got to be like, all right, be careful, because if somebody likes having this much control over somebody online, this may transfer into some real life shit. And they feel like somebody in real life should do everything that they tell them to do, just like they do to this Pinky Doll girl. I don't know. It's just something seems very weird about this type of shit.
And I think my access to porn, which was at a lesser level when I was younger, definitely didn't do the best for my psyche. And that was at a very minimal level. You got a 13-year-old able to do this? What are they going to be like at 22?
Yeah.
Since she really popped, all of her videos have over 1 million views.
Yeah. Cardi B used one of her reaction clips That's a reaction on Twitter.
Programming.
Yeah.
Should have listened.
Hey.
Should have listened to Fab.
Loso was trying to tell us.
Yeah.
In case you ain't know so.
Oh my God.
This is creepy, and I think it's going to be
It's
a
very
problem
creepy.
if.
Can we do this? Like, do these therapists and people, do they do a study on, like, let's say sex crimes after a lot of this shit becomes a thing?
I'm sure there's patterns that develop over time.
I think they should.
But a lot of those take time, you know?
Because this shit is, I'm telling you, somebody sits online and think that they can just tell a girl online, say this, do this, and they do it. That transfers into them in the real world outside.
You know the way where Pornhub at the end of each year always puts out the data? It's like the most searched in each state, whatever. I think this will be a year for a lot of the streaming, NPC, cucking because of the trends we're seeing online. I think that'll directly influence the searches people are making on those kind of sites.
We need to put more pressure on therapists. And here comes another ignorant rant from me.
From Rory.
No information, just things that pop up in my brain.
Clip it.
The way experts went to the Supreme Court and Congress and was like, hey, they're stealing our data. Look at what's happening. Our privacy is being taken right now. We need to do something about this. The therapists that go through all this shit and then even just post articles, it stops right there. There's nothing ever happens. Like therapists are just like, hey, yeah, this is about someone that may has an obsession about dominating. That's it.
Yeah, but what do you think? What
there should be some type, because therapy, of course, is so important, but it feels like therapists kind of give the impression that everything is okay. We're just going to explain it, and then our job is done. It's like, well, if you're the expert in this, can you give us some type of solution that's not big pharma? And maybe you should sit in front of some politicians and explain how this is affecting people and their actual mental health.
Yeah, like talk about what people may do before it gets to that level.
And they may be doing this and they just don't, put it on the news. It could be happening. I just haven't seen it.
But their role is to create that awareness. But again, as a citizen, you still have free will. You don't have to act on it.
Right.
You have to.
Well, you don't have free will.
Yeah.
Some people think that you do.
True.
We need, and that's another thing. We need more like boundaries, because I think we've gotten to a point where it's like, people want to be free of this and free of that and do what they want. You start to look at it, people will push things to a limit where it's like, all right, that's too far. And I think now we've gotten to that point where too far is not far enough.
Well, there's freedom and then there's boundaries. You can't have a working society without boundaries, even if everyone's free, laws, etc. And I'm saying that we're focusing on Roe v. Wade as far as control rather than what this type of shit on the internet is doing to people's brains and kids' brains.
Right.
Whereas, yes, there should be some type of control. I think that's how society can function safely.
Mm-hmm.
But why are we doing it with abortion rather than having a therapist go up and talk to the Supreme Court like, hey guys, this is going to fuck our kids up.
Yeah, but that's like quantitative versus qualitative. Like the abortion, the Roe v. Wade incident is, oh shit, I'm accidentally pregnant. This very thing now, I can't act on this because of what Congress said. It's tangible. Mm-hmm. Like I can't do this because of this. This is, you can't measure it. Like Tamal's point, how many murders, whatever the case may be. These are things that are happening over time. There's no pinpoint secular moment, There's not, it can't be measured is what I'm saying.
Well, they also said separate church and state to create America. And there's just a clip floating around now from the end of last year where someone was suggesting that the church asked Congress not to do the Roe versus Wade shit. And they said, all right, cool, we'll do that. But now everything within Christianity, you guys have to go to Republicans. Look it up.
That's sick.
I'm not making this up. This is a very viral. This was on the news. It just didn't get a lot of press where it's like, we'll make sure that the abortion shit happens for y'all. But now anything involving Christianity and your followers, it's all Republican now. Even if you disagree with us, it's all Republican.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Again, man, this shit, it could be a kink. And I know they say we kink shame. We need to bring back shame.
I agree.
I'm a fan.
Shame is important.
Yeah, I'm a fan of shame. Let's bring back some shame.
I think it just kind of goes back on like what people really be fucking with on social media or even on TikTok specifically. Like, for example, like how there was a plastic surgeon who was doing procedures on TikTok, putting it out, and now she just lost her license for that.
From Ohio.
Good.
Yeah.
As she should. Everything is not. Listen, I understand going viral and getting all these views and things like that, but there still has to be some type of order. There still has to be, some type of morality and things. Like people just are wanting to do whatever the fuck they want to do now.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have social media, they think they can just put shit out, they can upload this, they can upload that. No, we need to bring back boundaries. And this type of shit to me is like, yeah, good. She should lose her license for that type of shit.
No, I agree.
The Alabama woman who vanished after stopping to report a child on the highway, which is a big headline in the news over the last few days.
You told me about this. I had no idea about this. I thought this was the craziest fucking story ever.
Yeah, so she was missing for like 3 days, I believe.
Almost 3 days, yeah.
What was her name? Catherine Nicole Russell?
Mm-hmm.
Carlethia.
I believe it's pronounced Smollett?
Smollett.
Oh my God.
Carly Smollett.
Call her Carly.
Carly Smollett.
Well, I don't want to jump there yet, but this story,
I'm fine with it.
She disappeared. She reported a child missing, walking on the highway. She got out to help the child, and then when the cops arrived, they just found her car. So then she was reported missing, and she was gone for 3 days, and then she just showed up at home.
No kid,
no police. 3 days later, and they said she apparently looked like she was in a state of shock. Now they took her to the hospital to check her out. If this lady does not have any organs missing,
oh my God,
because that could have been a thing. She got abducted. They took her organs and dropped her back off, whatever.
Spleen.
Just
whatever.
Kidney,
something like that. But if she does not have any organs missing, or anything like that, this lady just obviously had a rendezvous with. I don't know if she's married or whatever. She just took a couple of days and just went away with somebody and had a blast and came back home.
You're saying it's boyfriend problems. Anytime a woman goes missing, it must mean she's cheating. I agree.
It must mean she's cheating.
But this is weird because it's all caught on security camera, on the highway camera. And it says she just got out of her car on the shoulder and then vanished.
Back to programming. It's all a callback. We've watched so much crime documentaries that myself included. When Maul was telling me about this, I was like, can't wait for the Netflix series. Where did she go? It could just be some straight up shit. Like she was just lying to everybody and wanted to come home.
She just wanted to come home after a few days. Again, this is all if this woman, after they took her to the hospital and she's checked out, everything's okay. Then we got to start getting Smollett on the case. What would Jussie Smollett do?
The cops should hire him as a consultant for these certain cases.
Yeah, kind of like Frank Abagnale.
Yeah, exactly.
He would have brought the meatball sub.
Put him on the game. How to do the checks.
Yeah.
Had to make a seal.
Yeah, I don't. This is. I don't know. This is a weird story.
Well, I really hope, jokes aside, that nothing did actually happen to her. But this is very odd.
Very odd story. But again, yes, like you said, hopefully everything is okay. She's in great health. But
where the kid? What happened to the kid?
These are things that we need to.
Who knows?
Get to.
I mean, I think there's probably a world where maybe she could have had a mental episode and never saw a kid, pulled over, and just had a mental breakdown.
The kid is like the meatball sandwich.
See,
if you think about it, if you actually think about it,
if you think about it, I'm just saying, man.
So what was the noose? The car?
Yes, the car was the noose.
No, but I could definitely see a world where she was having some type of manic episode and maybe saw a kid or called the cops and disappeared.
I could see that. That could probably be a thing as well.
So that in that case, I wouldn't be like,
that's
she's a liar trying to get away.
Hopefully she's in, her health is, is okay. The blue black dress, Rory.
Yes.
Years ago that went viral.
I'm glad you referred to it as the blue and black dress, and not the white and gold dress, because you're not a fucking serial killer.
Right.
What? Well, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
I actually didn't even put those two.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, see?
Look at you.
This gentleman thought it was a white and gold dress for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Look at that blue ass dress.
Well, people that remember this whole thing online where people were debating whether this dress was black and blue or white and gold. So the man behind that viral moment, that viral picture, he has been charged with attempted murder of his wife.
Okay.
And so, like you said, Rory, only a serial killer would think that dress could possibly be white and gold.
What does everyone think in the room? You guys
blue
always
and black.
It's obviously blue and black.
okay.
Yeah.
People are nuts.
Listen, man, people. This is just proof that people will debate anything.
Well, clearly they had a rocky relationship that started this whole.
Do you think he
Couldn't
tried to
agree on
kill her
it.
because she thought the dress was white and gold?
I mean, I think that's the obvious thing to make up.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I hate that when you Google
I
this,
think
it's
it's
called
Ellen's
the
fault. That's
dress.
just me.
Oh man,
If Ellen doesn't highlight this, does it ever happen?
no.
Well, thank God the woman is alive,
Right.
and they have him captured, if you will.
If you will.
But let's get to some voicemails and hopefully cure any damage that could lead to something like this.
Voicemails.
Get ahead of it.
What you got for us today, Julian?
Let's start with a relationship. Why not?
Wow.
Another relationship.
All right, so this is just more so like a question. I really don't need too much advice because I know how I feel.
Oh, excuse me.
But I wanted to get your guys' stance.
Right.
On it. I'm gonna keep it brief and anonymous, and if you guys could play this one on the
Oh my God, just go on with
Patreon
it.
exclusive episodes because I'm not sure if my girl listens, but
Oh, well, too late.
ex-girl now. So.
Well, we're here now.
Sorry.
That being said, we recently broke up, and usually, whenever I go through a breakup, I kind of try to fill the void with, other women and like things that don't really mean too much, and not really trying to commit to anyone specifically, but just having fun and trying to, clear my mind from that. But after everything has been said and done, I end up feeling guilty and like a shitty person because I feel like, I shouldn't be doing this like so soon after a breakup. I just kind of wanted to get your guys' perspective on that, and like if that guilt in turn kind of makes you want to make things work out with your ex because, you feel like, like I said, guilty about the whole situation, or if, you should just, or if you feel better just kind of figuring things out on your own and just being alone and just, riding it out. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
I'm always a fan of being alone after a breakup.
Same.
I'm with the angle of fucking some whores to show you how much
Jeez.
you loved your girl.
That
Like-
shows love, right?
Like to get over?
No, to show yourself, like in the mirror.
Oh, so you can
like
cry.
going back outside
Show yourself in the mirror.
to see like what's really out there,
Yeah,
and you see what's out there, and you're like, home was better.
Home.
yeah.
It's fucked up to your girl. Don't get me wrong. But
I just-
that strategy, because men are so basic in that regard.
Like how long
It's-
after
it
a breakup
works.
do you wait to like have sex with somebody?
After
which
breakup?
which
Yeah.
age are we talking?
Let's
Because the strategy I just said I've done before. I wouldn't.
let's say like
'Cause it just
20.
leaves-
Let's say 28-year-old Rory.
28-year-old Rory would probably wait. What city am I in? I have to add stipulations in all this.
Okay.
Man, it's your life, your
Yeah.
actual life.
Whatever city
You were in Jersey. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
Jersey
wait,
City.
you wait till the next brunch.
Oh nah. If I'm
Sick.
in Jersey City, I might wait till the next trip. Especially if we're saying 28. I was traveling a
What
lot.
next trip? What you talking about?
Oh, tour?
Yeah.
Oh.
He gave me an age when I was
That's
28.
28.
Oh, okay.
Rory.
Because now I would wait some time.
Yeah, see, that's boring.
But 28-year-old Rory, yeah, whenever the next city was, I don't think I would do it
The next
In-
city.
In that same
in the
city.
tri-state.
Yikes.
That's just,
Yeah.
it's weird.
When you're younger, I think it's easy to after a breakup just have sex almost like that same
Day.
Day,
month.
yeah.
Or maybe not. Maybe that day.
That same
depending on-
day?
Yeah.
Well, that would depend on
It's pretty common.
if you're in
Damn.
the you talk to other women like that and have those options available. But I think that realistically, few weeks, and after a breakup, a guy would probably have sex.
I waited a couple weeks after my last breakup.
To have sex?
Was that at
What
a
was his name? Hey.
Good one.
was that your choice, or like that's just when the next
That's just how it,
opportunity
that's just how it
presented
flowed.
itself?
Yeah, that's just
Gotcha.
how
That's
it
how
flowed.
it happened.
It wasn't like you were
I
like,
wasn't
I think
planning
I'm
it.
3 weeks in. I think I'm ready to get out there.
No, yeah.
You know,
I
you were
was
ready
planning on it. Yeah.
to get back on the whole
But that's
town
the thing.
road.
I feel like you shouldn't have to think about. You don't plan the next time you want to go fuck somebody after your breakup. Just if it happens, it happens.
Well, to the emotional side of this, because that's obviously what he's struggling with. Did
Right.
you feel guilty after that?
I did.
I felt guilty even
Yeah.
after a clean. We were definitely broken up. It wasn't
Yeah.
cheating anything. I've still felt like weird,
Yeah, I felt.
fucking immediately.
Yeah,
That guilt is something, boy.
yeah.
That shit lays on you.
But it hits again, man. Going back to post nut clarity.
But I mean, that's why I joke about that of like, yo, just fuck through it. That's the worst strategy if we're being serious. Like it feels good for like a second. I'm not even talking about the sex, but like going out, like, oh, I'm single now. Let's see what's up.
It's never good.
The moment it's done, you're like, ugh.
Like
I don't think it solves anything per se, but is it the worst thing to do?
It's the worst thing to do.
Okay, so then let's offer Anonymous some alternatives. Because again, we get lonely at night, send out a couple texts.
Speed
if
off.
someone bites, you'll have them pull up. What should he do instead?
I think, again, that's why I said, the first thing I said, I'm a fan of just being alone for a while. Like, not even trying to engage or
get a new hobby.
Other women. Because if the breakup was, if it was with somebody that you really loved and y'all were together for a while, that's still on you.
For sure.
Like, you can be around other women and they can tell, like, yo, he's not even here, right? Like, his mind is somewhere else.
I've
like,
definitely been in that guy.
Yeah, like you could just see that on somebody. Like, yo, so trying to be intimate with another woman, you playing yourself. Yeah, you can probably
do
go
it, but
through
it's
with
not,
it.
you don't have
but
to.
you playing yourself because it's not going to even be an enjoyable experience for you. Like, you're going to feel like shit after still. You're probably not going to give your best performance because your mind is somewhere else.
Yikes.
Now she thinks you got trash sex.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now you just, all the way around the board, like you just out here pathetic now, looking bad. Like, so.
Especially if you've been in a faithful long-term relationship, that next fuck, especially if it's very soon, is weird because like you're used to sex a certain way with one person.
Yeah, like you don't even know how to please a different
rhythm. Would you rather have, if you were to have sex with someone, would you rather have it be with a random like new person or go into like an older thing?
Rolodex for sure.
It's always somebody that you already have some type of chemistry with and y'all have the same type of vibe and she knows like, oh, you just broke up with. Like,
yeah, she's aware of your,
She's kind of like, it's a comfort zone. Like, you know her, she knows you. You can talk about what actually happened. She knew you were in a relationship. Like, it's like a friend almost, but y'all have been intimate before. Like,
she teases you, so I told you it wouldn't work out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's,
where
sounds really specific.
Your heart know what home is. Like, your heart know what home is.
I was expecting this text.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I have the GPS to your heart.
Jesus.
Like, you just can't, like, I would not recommend younger guys. Y'all gonna throw y'all dick anywhere on the table and shoot crap.
You say younger.
24, 23, 25. They're gonna throw their dick on the crap table and see whatever comes back. But like an older person, I don't recommend just fucking a girl right after a breakup.
Focus on work, bro.
Yeah. Like,
sounds like that's where he's leaning too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
a hobby.
The level up. Like, it's like, okay, if you love the person, your heart is broken, you're not together. Now you got to rebuild yourself. You got to kind of, get your footing back underneath you and then get back in the game. But just go out there and just run into some pussy is like,
yeah, that's not it.
It's kind of like, you don't want to do that. I don't recommend that.
And even if you have the mentality like, all right, I went out and I fucked somebody, realized that the streets is trash, let me go back to my girl. That feeling will also recycle itself eventually. Yeah. If you already had doubts before and you go out and you're like, oh, all right, it's better over here.
Yeah.
Give it another 6 months. You'll start feeling that way again.
Yeah.
And it's just a
I don't recommend
cycle of nonsense. So
it's not,
leave her and focus on yourself, man.
Yeah, work on you.
Yeah. Work on yourself, man.
Yeah. Or hit Julian and, I don't know, hit Ludlow.
What?
Knock him out.
Is he in New York?
I don't know. He's anonymous.
Nah, I don't want to open that can of worms.
Yeah.
All right. Keep doing your cell thing. This is okay. So in this case, on this next call, you stay with someone, but it's not really going as planned.
Yo, how y'all doing? NewRoryNMal, Demaris, Julian, Eddin. What's up, y'all? Yo, this is X from St. Louis. So I got a question. I got a question for y'all. Right. All right. So I'm a newlywed man, right?
Okay.
And it's been a year or so, and like things are not going how I thought they'd go. Like, no cap, like these are not going how I thought they'd go. We ain't getting along like that. The spark not really there. It feels more like a transaction than anything else.
Not sparking.
And on top of that, we are swimming in debt. Like
there you go.
Bro, I want to cut and just run. I want to go run because, bro, this ain't what I want to do, and it's like kind of hindering. And it's kind of hindering my plans in life as far as career. So, help a brother out.
X from St. Louis, divorce.
That's expensive.
That's also expensive.
And a lot of debt.
It is expensive.
Yeah. What you gonna do?
Murder.
It's expensive, but at least the assets, like, what are they gonna split the debt up? Like,
yeah, like I mean, he clearly said it's not going the way he thought. There's no spark. They're swimming in debt. He feels like it's hindering him as far as his career. Did anybody hear anything positive from that?
Absolutely not.
I would suggest couples therapy, but that's a cost, and
That
they're
also
already
is a
in debt. So,
cut your losses short, man.
It's easier said than done, of course, because you just got fucking married. But I don't see where this gets better anytime soon.
Please, I don't.
Actually, it could get worse the longer you drag it on.
Yeah,
he didn't say it, and I hope they don't. But if they have a kid, that's also not the fix. Don't try to have a kid and be like, well, this will make us better.
No.
That's just incurring more costs.
Having a kid when things are bad is like putting a Band-Aid on a dolphin's blowhole.
Yeah, that's actually debt that can breathe. It's debt with an opinion.
That's a good analogy.
Well,
That's what it is. It's not going to work. Like, it's not going to help anything. It may look good, but it's not going to help.
Yeah.
What's his out?
Divorce.
It's expensive.
Yeah, but they gotta. Bro, he didn't say anything positive
at all.
He's not happy. I think he was crying when he sent that voicemail.
That sigh hit.
Yeah, that sigh was crazy.
Yeah, it sounded like he was crying, wiping his tears, blowing his nose. Like, it's, you just gotta listen. Hats off. You tried it. He tried to be a stand-up guy and get married and make an honest woman out of her, but it's not happening.
That's the shit that scares me about marriage, man. That is like, whew, that level of commitment is insane.
It's not the level of commitment. I think that marriage with people underestimate. I'm saying like I've been married, but I think with
or a relationship,
I think what people have underestimated in marriage is you have to truly know each other's like goals, debts, what y'all are trying to do, and timing is a very big thing with marriage. Like,
it sounds like they pulled the trigger at a bad time.
Yeah, but that's weird though. It's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's an error on both parts. It's like, did y'all really not know each other well enough to understand that maybe this is not a for everything?
That happens.
There's also a separation would be the immediate thing, I suppose. Have that conversation. Like, this is not working at all. Let's try a separation to see where that goes. Let me focus on my goals with work.
You think he got
obviously we have this debt together
I'm
legally.
not with that separation shit when you married. We might as well get.
Oh my god.
Well, if you can't afford the divorce, which I mean, you can find some like hood divorce lawyer for $600.
Separation. Like, we're not together. We don't sleep in the same house.
Yeah.
You can date other people. You can fuck other people.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are we married?
Yeah, but the marriage is not cheap, Mal.
Marriage.
Divorce is not cheap.
Marriage can be very cheap.
Divorce is not cheap though.
It depends on who you're talking to.
Nah, fam. That shit is on average.
If you ain't got shit, like
if you don't have shit and both people want to leave each other, it's not the worst.
That's what I'm saying. What are we talking about? Like, it's not.
But that's the thing. I'm talking about this scenario. I don't think that's the case. I don't think it's both of them. It's one of them.
No, one of them. He said we're swimming in debt.
Yeah.
Okay, no, we're swimming in debt, but he's not happy with the relationship.
Yeah,
you could be swimming in debt and be in love.
I think it's safe to assume she's not happy.
Exactly.
Either.
If he's not happy, she's not happy.
Then fucking.
How many times have you seen a married couple and one person's like, I am depressed, I hate this, and the other person's like, oh, I love it.
But there's two sides to unhappy.
It doesn't happen like that.
There's unhappy that wants to leave, and then there's unhappy that wants to make it work.
Exactly.
There is two levels of unhappy.
That's true.
So she could be in that like this is what newlyweds go through. Like, we committed to each other. This is what we signed up for. She could be in that realm, and he's like, no,
does he sound like he's ready to make it work?
No, I'm saying
absolutely not.
I'm saying she could feel that.
Does he?
No,
yeah,
he doesn't.
I think he checked out.
But that's what I'm saying. She might not. She might be trying to make it work out though.
Yeah, that's true.
Sounds broad. Talk to your wife. You have to express what you just said to us, to her.
Right? That's like the funniest shit. It's like, why doesn't he just talk to his wife?
He probably has.
That sounds. You know what?
Well, there sounds like they're in a place that talking is not the easiest.
Yeah, I was
thing.
gonna say that. I'm getting ahead of myself. That might.
Yeah. Listen, man. Long story short, quick resolve. Divorce.
I mean, yes, but also it sounds like there's a lot of stuff, like you said, with his career, and I'm assuming hers as well. I think if you really take care of the job stuff, get some more money in your pocket, start taking care of those debts, a lot of stuff kind of fixes itself when you're a little more comfortable financially.
I gotta hear what his goals and work is though. Like if he's 36, newlywed, and is like, nah, if I wasn't with her, my mixtape would really get off the ground.
Oh hell no.
Then I have different
what
advice
does
for
he
this
do?
guy. Like what
Yeah,
are
what
his
do you
goals
do?
that he feels he can't meet with this woman?
Yeah. It's tough, man. Marriage is that's a big life change.
Also, I wonder if he was forced into this marriage.
And it's not like he wasn't forced. It sounds like he just wasn't ready.
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe he did some
And
Neither
fuck
of them
shit.
financially.
Men have that thing where, you know, they get married when they're not ready, but they know that the woman wants to.
Or maybe he fucked up. He like cheated. She caught him, and then like he was like, "Let me make this up with an engagement."
It's really sexist that you just go right to a man just cheated and that's the
Yeah,
problem.
why she couldn't cheat?
Yeah.
You're right. My bad.
True.
Sorry.
Booty hole brown.
Talk to your wife. This is actually one I would like an update on. Because this was another vague one.
Yeah.
I feel like we can get an update from him.
It's a very serious
He
topic.
gonna be
that
in
was vague.
Miami like, yo, I left her. Life is great.
I'm actually
She got all the
swimming
debt
in
and the
a pool of
divorce.
money now. Yeah.
Like, yo, life is great. If y'all gonna be in Miami soon, hit me up. Like,
Yeah.
we hit the club.
I'll send the PJ.
Yeah. Definitely give us an update on in about 3 weeks about what happened.
All right, let's get to our last one.
Last one. This is it hip hop from Earl.
Love it.
What's good, gang? This is E from the DMV. My question is
E from the DMV.
mostly to Mal, but all of y'all could pitch in. Is it hip hop for a nigga to fly himself out to go see another shorty? I just need to know if I should be doing this at all, because I don't know, man. I know it's hip hop to fly shorties out, but I ain't never heard of a nigga flying himself out to try to be with shorty. So let me know.
Well, Mal, you start.
Have you done that?
Yeah, like the girl doesn't pay for your own ticket. Like you're flying to go see a girl. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how you get there.
Yeah.
Like,
Nah, but not like. It sounds like it's the same structure as a fly out weekend, meaning you're going there just to
yeah, like you're flying to her city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm buying my ticket. I'm coming to see you next weekend.
All right.
And you can even double up and just say you're staying for the weekend, but then actually stay till Wednesday and go somewhere else on Monday.
Yeah. That's nasty
Allegedly.
work. Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
Depending on how many Hilton Honors points you got.
I don't think that's crazy at all. I mean, like,
Oh, that's definitely hip hop.
Platinum at this point.
Yeah.
That's definitely hip hop. Definitely fly yourself out because I would always prefer to go see the girl because if it's not going well,
you just leave.
it's easier for you to pick up and get your own shit and get out.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, well, you learned that the hard way. So yeah, it's easier to just be like, yo, I'm out.
And I can there's no awkward conversation. I can say, hey, I'm getting a hotel.
Yeah.
Like if I'm flying her here.
Wait.
Some women just assume that
Let's
means
be
they're staying
clear.
at your house. It's like, I haven't met you, so you probably should go to the hotel.
Let's be clear. If you're flying to a city to go see a girl, you should absolutely be staying at a hotel.
Yeah, get your own.
Yeah, we should.
Like, do never fly to a girl and stay at her house if you can, unless you had that type of relationship with each other where you just feel comfortable. But if this is like a first time thing,
Nah.
I don't recommend that, bro.
Yeah.
That can get very dangerous. Very, like, you don't know X lurking around. She lives on the ground floor.
You don't know her.
Right.
Fucking ex.
Her, yeah.
You don't know her ex. You don't know her.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, definitely fly. You can fly yourself out. If you really want to make it hip hop, make sure you have other options in that same city.
Hip hop.
That's called a duet.
Well, that's what Rory was alluding
That's
to.
like back and forth, kissing styles.
Yeah.
Style, yeah.
That's hip hop.
That's the locks.
Well, E, hope you went out there.
Yeah.
E from the DMV. E sound like he was.
That's also a lot of free time on your hands, though.
Also, he's flying out of Dulles. That airport touches a lot of good cities. You can hit some cool spots there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if you just make sure you got have another option in the city too, though.
Have you guys ever flown to a city just to see a girl?
Yeah.
To fuck? Not one that you were talking to. Like, I'm saying just first meet up.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm not saying I'm above that. I just don't know if I've had like enough free time.
Yeah.
I've done that to women I was talking to and like wanted to really see. A first one though?
I actually drove to Montreal in the middle of the night.
I mean,
got stopped at the border, didn't make it, but
that's sick.
I tried.
That's
But
sick.
the effort was there.
Yeah,
but I don't see nothing wrong with that. A man should always pay for his own flight.
I would let a girl fly me out.
Word.
I mean, I would too, but I mean, typically it goes you.
But I'm expensive.
You want first class?
What if she flies you out?
Yeah, like
if it's Spirit?
I can do for myself. So you better be top dollar for me. Like, you're not putting me in economy.
What's that shit girl say? Come the way I'm coming or some shit like that?
Excuse me?
Quotes? Like, meaning, like, if I can afford a first class seat, if you're flying me out, you should buy me a first class seat.
That's not gonna happen, bro.
Like, I need first class. I need the lounge. I need car service. I'm not going to the share and ride.
I need to go shopping when I land.
Yeah, I don't have time to pack.
Yeah, I need all that. If you fly me out,
right.
I actually like a spa day, getting my nails as
Ladies,
well.
you heard it first.
That's
when a girl
my haircut.
When a girl asks you to fly them out, is that not, to me, it is such a big turnoff.
Why? When a girl asks you to fly them out?
Oh
yeah.
Oh,
there's like one of the worst things you can say to me. I'll dead the conversation. I'll never talk to you again. I hate that.
When she says you should fly me to New York?
Yeah.
Is she worth it?
Like, have you ever been in New York? I'm like, no. He's like, I will when you fly me out. I'm like, clipped.
It depends where that happens in the conversation.
Right.
Yeah, if this is like if this is week 1,
how long
week
have
2,
y'all been
week 3,
it usually
get
happens
weird.
early because I feel like girls like that expose that card. Like, they want that so fast and whatever it is that they'll just lead with that.
Well, they've met so many men that will do that. So
I'm not
because basically they're using you as the ticket to get here.
Exactly.
As you know.
To steal your backpack.
Steal your backpack and
go
go kick
fuck
it with
another
the
guy.
dude that they really wanted to come see.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Did you pay for her train ticket?
Hell no.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's thank God.
Yeah.
It might have been
13 hours
in Houston if that was the case.
Yeah. I wouldn't have filmed that one.
It would have been a massacre in Houston if he actually flew her out here. That would have been sick. That would have been a whole different story.
I mean, an Amtrak ticket from Cleveland can't be that cheap.
It was expensive, yeah.
That's a flight. I feel like flying from Cleveland to New York might be cheaper.
13-hour train.
Well, that was New Year.
Yeah.
Flight
not cheap.
Oh, yeah, true.
Coming into New York City, yeah. Flights is probably way more expensive.
Well,
either way, yeah, man. It's hip hop to fly yourself out. Have other options in the city if you really want to make it a duet. Before we get out of here, though, I do want to make sure we give a congratulations and shed light on the fact that the Brooklyn Museum is honoring Jay-Z as part of the Hip Hop 50 celebration. If you have a chance and you're in New York City, make sure you stop by the Brooklyn Museum and check out the exhibit while it's available, while it's up.
Well, no, it's not a Brooklyn Museum. It's at the library, right?
The library.
Oh, excuse me, the Brooklyn Library. I'm sorry. Make sure you go see it. I haven't gone yet, but I will. I was just trying to wait for the entire social media craze to kind of die down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I will check it out. This is very important to our culture. Very important to just hip hop in general. When one of our own gets celebrated in such a unique way, we haven't seen anything like this before. Yes, they have had libraries where, some of our favorite artists are, they have exhibits inside, but this is an entire library being wrapped with Jay-Z's lyrics. I know Guru and the entire band was performing outside in front.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, shouts to Jay-Z on an amazing career, amazing life, amazing accomplishments. Thank you for everything you've given to the game and given to the culture of hip hop. And again, if you're in New York City anytime within, I think it's the next month and a half.
The few articles we saw said it doesn't have an end date yet, but I believe we were also told on the way in you can sign
a petition to
some
keep
sort
it
of
open
petition
for the rest of the year
to extend it.
Hopefully, which they probably will.
They should.
I see them keeping it open for at least throughout the holiday, maybe till almost Christmas. Maybe
let's do a family trip.
We definitely should. The work they put into those, just redoing baseline, like they got to keep that shit for a while.
Yeah. Got to keep it for a while, so as many people can see it as possible. Again, salute to Jay-Z on an amazing career, amazing accomplishments, and thank you for everything you've given to the culture.
For sure.
All right, well, we out of here?
Yes, but we will be back this week. Patreon, Ram Radio, regular episodes.
Merch is available now.
Maury, yeah.
NewRoryNMal.
I am 3% Jewish.
You are. Yeah, we'll talk to y'all again at the end of the week. Enjoy the week. Be safe. Be blessed. I'm that nigga. He's just ginger. Peace.
NewRoryNMal.